let me pull this up real quick so you guys will see what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
So my friend was telling me you should like at least like show the buttons and stuff in like training mode or something. So I'm gonna try to do that. I can't guarantee that I can transition smoothly in and out of them, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best, guys. I'm gonna do my best. So let me pull this up real quick on Windows Capture.
Chart pulled up. And
I gotta, yeah. There it is. It is not focused at all, though. Or is it? It is, right? Oh, this is the wrong one. God damn it. Hold on. We need the one that we can edit. One moment. Blah, blah, blah. So I guess I should, before we start, like, so yeah, tell me about yourself, man. How long have you been playing Holy Order and all that good stuff? So I need a shill for you when I do my opening video. Like, yo, content creator Pulsar here, bro. Let me introduce you to this sick ass Holy Order Soul player, Aligari. And then you go, yeah. What do you got? Tell me.
Okay.
Give me something to shill for you, man.
I've been playing for, probably 4 years now.
Okay.
I started with Plus R, but basically when the scene was kind of dead. I luckily had a scene in SoCal that I got to play with a lot, training against like DQRF and Ian and Mike. So the best I ever got was top 8 at Evo before rollback. So I'm not a super good player, but for the longest time, basically before rollback, I was more or less the only Order Soul playing active in the Discord. So a lot of the resources, a lot of the tech, a lot of all of that kind of stuff was me making it. And over time, I have kind of fallen into a mentorship position for this character. So,
are you actually the mentor for the Plus R?
Yeah, I'm the character mentor for Order Soul.
I tried. I good job, man. I respect you for doing that. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. I'm glad you've been helping out that community, and you even brought some of the homies over here now, so you can answer all their questions directly about this kind of situation that's going on here. So why'd you end up picking Holy Order Soul? Was he your first character?
So originally I played Kai, and then I originally played on like a 360 pad, and it was a pain in the ass to actually play because, 360 pad can't play on PS3. And Mike said something, typical Mike comment of, where you are in skill level, picking up a stick wouldn't be any disadvantage because you don't have much to lose. Which, but I decided to do that, and then I also decided to change my character because I just really wasn't feeling Kai. And ironically, or funnily enough, the reason I picked Order Soul was I thought, okay, who is easy execution? Well, there's this character with 7-frame FRCs. That seems pretty easy.
Are they actually? That's huge. Are they all 7 frames? Or are they all just like that big?
Yeah, every single action.
That's so big. That's
makes it really funny when I whiff them still.
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
But that was more or less why I picked up Order Soul. But then, as it happens in Plus R, the more you play the character, the more hard execution things you have to do. So all of the stuff like figuring out combo routes and recording information like that, I either scraped off of Dust Loop and had to redo, or I had to figure it out on my own. For example, the double Dust Loop route, I remember asking like, hey, does anyone know how to hit this? And no one responded, so I had to frame step through Kazunoko videos and try to figure out the trick behind it.
This is the hard slash dust combo, right?
Yeah, the like gun blaze, heavy slash dust, jump, heavy slash dust, land, heavy slash dust, heavy slash dust.
This might actually be really hard for me to do. Hold on, let me see if I can switch
cables.
I mean, the combo is actually really hard if you guys don't know. It's actually not easy.
You have, I think it's two 2-frame windows or two 1-frame windows, or maybe it's just a 3-frame tolerance in general. But it's reasonably hard combo. My good friend Shadow Fox found an easier version of it for basically the same damage, which I encourage everyone to do. Except I'm old and stubborn, so I keep doing the hard version. But yeah, that's basically me.
Alright, cool. So you've been playing HOS ever since you decided to switch over, right? Do you play any?
Basically.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be Alec. So your handle is just what's your handle and where they can
Aligari,
find you?
yeah.
Aligari. Where can they find you at?
Plus our Discord. I'm not really on Twitter, so if you want to talk to me or anything, you can ping me in the Plus our Discord, or you can DM me or whatever.
All right, cool. I guess for like newer players that don't know, like what are the mechanics of this character? What makes him different? I'll demonstrate it to training mode real quick. It's real quick.
So
Yeah,
the
I'll show
basics
you.
of Order Soul. There's a few points I would consider basically key to him.
Mm-hmm.
His big thing is charge cancel, which is 2D or 214D.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
So 214D is counted as a special, and it's 13 frames of recovery. So off of any special cancelable normal, you can convert its recovery to 13 frames, which means essentially all of Order Soul's buttons are either neutral or plus. If
Right.
they're plus on their own, you don't have to charge cancel it. If they would normally be minus, you can charge cancel them and generally get plus frames. So, for example, 5H is minus something or other that I never know, because if you charge cancel it, it's +7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess you get a combo on crouch too. I'm guessing.
Yes. You can get like Bandit Revolver or Rocket, I think.
Okay.
So the other big mechanic is his charge meter, which you see in the bottom there. Goes from 0 to 300%. As you gain levels, your special moves will change and get additional properties. Generally, higher level means better. Level 1 special moves are alright. Order Soul's almost a real character at level 1. He has to work a lot harder than a lot of other characters, but that's okay. At level 2, he becomes a pretty good character. You get actual knockdown off your strings. You have really good tools in neutral, like Rocket level 2. You have...
Because DB becomes attackable, right? If at level 2, if I recall. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool.
No, you can tech it.
Really?
It's just a lot of untech time. You get pretty good tools. And then at level 3, you get actual big damage. You have a 15 frame overhead in Bandit Revolver. You have
That's so fast.
plus 37 or something off BRP, or not BRP, Blockhead Buster.
Is that really this? Oh, yes, this is crazy at level 3.
Yeah, let me pull it up on Gunframe. Don't want to spread misinformation.
It's plus you are not leaving blocks then. That's all you got.
37.
That is so much. Wow.
So yeah, at level 3 you get to be a busted character, but the other big thing is this was the big change from AC to plus R. When you use a special, your meter will slowly count down. While it is going down, you can use specials in that level as long as it's there. So if you use a level 3 move, you can chain it to level 2 moves to get knocked down. So for example, Bandit Revolver into Bandit Revolver would give you a knockdown. But those are really the main things about Order Soul. He has a lot of plus buttons, and he has that unique charge mechanic, which is blessing and a curse. But yeah, the basic game plan for Order Soul is get in and then reset your opponent a bunch and make them afraid. You have to encourage them to press buttons because a lot of your damage comes from counter hit. And if they don't press buttons, you get to get charge, which makes you a scarier character. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, cool. Any important buttons I should be aware of?
Yes. JH is basically your go-to.
This move is
Air to
terrible.
ground. It's a very good move. People like to overstate how good it is, but I can't pretend that it's not a good move. I can only tell them that it's completely anti-airable, and if you can't anti-air it, you can just IB and throw him.
Oh, okay, that's important enough. Thanks, man.
JP is actually probably your best air move in the game. JP is 4 frames active startup, 4 frames recovery, lowers your or raises your hurt box, stuffs basically every single air move in the game if you get there fast enough. It's also his best anti-air. Order Soul has really bad anti-air.
Oh yeah,
So his best anti-airs are JP and air throw. So 6P isn't a button. 6P just doesn't exist.
Yeah, this move is.
2S is your best footsies button, along with 2D, but 2S has a huge, quote unquote, the most disjointed hitbox of any Order Soul move. It's 6 frame.
It's okay.
Second,
You don't
yeah,
worry
6
about.
frame startup,
Damn.
-1 unblocked.
Does it go to plus if you charge
No.
it?
It is 12 frame recovery, so if you charge it, it's -2.
Oh, that's funny.
It leads to 6H on counter hit, but that's basically your footsies button, which gives you a good idea of what kind of range Order Soul wants to play in.
Yeah, this is the whole sort of like play range right here. Anything within this range, right? Like you don't want to be.
Basically.
Yeah,
you want
to
to
be
be in 2S
inside.
range.
If it's whiffing, you're not having a good time. If it's hitting, you're having a good time. Well, how's this 5K by the way? This seems pretty soft.
His 5K is 3 frames, just like Soul's. It
Mhm.
doesn't go as high, but the hitbox hits around his chest area, so you can use it as a ghetto anti-air.
Okay.
It's mostly just a poke button and used to start pressure, but you can use it to anti-air some things. Like I use it a lot against Eno as an anti-air.
Yeah. Oh, it's basically the same as your jab, so it's why not just use this? Yeah. In terms of actual overall height. Okay, makes sense. All right, cool. Anything else you want to say about Holy Order, like general things, or we'll move on
Yeah,
to?
I might as well talk about the one move. So half circle forward dust is Fafnir.
The move I was
It's
doing
his
already.
only-
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's his only force break, and it's the tool that makes him an actual character, because this is what makes people afraid to press buttons at like mid range, and what lets Order Soul actually punish people or play the neutral game.
Oh, it's a knockdown.
Fafnir,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's a knockdown. It has an extended hurt box all the way during its startup, so if Soul is just mashing jab, it will get counter hit. But the just ability to tag someone at half screen with a low and get a massive combo off of it is really key to Order Soul's game plan, and it's a lot of reasons he has good or bad matchups.
Oh man, all right, that's really cool. I like that. Anything else you want to add?
I think that's about it.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's move on to. Wait, hold on. I gotta pretend like this stream has high production values. You guys ready? Da 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 da. Oh, I guess we could just. This might even just be easier if I just leave it on Holy Order Soul and Soul. But I guess I'll show it real quick. So yeah, the Soul, Holy Order Soul versus Soul matchup. What do you think about this?
Okay. Order Soul versus Soul is 5-5.
Okay.
So damage differential sucks. Soul does a lot more damage than you. He doesn't get it as easily, which is kind of a saving grace. He has to work reasonably hard to get his damage. When he does get it, womp womp. Defensively and neutral, he's a lot better of a character than you. His Far S does everything your Far S does, but better. His 2S is better than yours.
Is it
his
really?
2D is about the same. His 2S goes further, but it's not as disjointed. It's side break, I guess. His 5K is strictly better than yours.
Oh, for sure. This is the guy.
Has 6P for big counter hit damage, command throw, etc., etc. So he tends to win neutral pretty hard, or at least well enough. The big thing to worry about in the matchup is he can anti-air you very well because of his 5K. And
Oh, really?
anti-airs, yeah, counter hit 5k will lead to a full Sidewinder loop. So you're looking at 160 to 200 plus damage if you get anti-aired.
This,
Um,
I'm sorry, Ali. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. Doing it. I'll be full.
he can also 2H you, which is just as bad and leads to
Okay.
more damage. He can also punish your DP on block, guaranteed with 2H, which is really annoying.
What move? Sorry, what was
Cortisol
it?
2H.
You can do Twitch too, what?
If you do action DP ACFRC, Soul can just block it and mash 2H, and it counter hits every single time.
I probably can't do this. It's gonna be too hard for me to do by myself.
It's okay.
Okay. But yeah, it's active enough to just do this, right? 2H. Okay.
But, it's annoying. The good things about the matchup is that when you're on offense, Soul can't really deal with you. He kind of struggles to get you off of him, which means you can sort of bully him. The real key to the Soul matchup is you just have to actually stay on him and not let him get that hit. If you can trade hits in neutral all you want, and if he gambles hard, he can just sneak stuff in, but it's hard for him to get his damage, and it's a lot easier for you to get yours. And then once you get that knockdown or your damage, you can stay on him and not let him play. You can also abuse your mobility and just kind of like IAD away from him and charge until you get like level 2 or level 3. And then he kind of has an annoying time because you can match his damage potential. But in general, it's just he wins neutral and will do more damage for less hits. You win offense, and you can hit him easier than he can hit you.
Okay, nice. Nice, I like that. Is there anything else you want to say about it, or any last thoughts? How is whole? I'll just bring this up really quick. I'm kind of curious. How is whole Soul's jumping game versus HOS?
You can IB air throw basically everything he does. JP also works really well, but JH gives it some trouble.
Right, this way right here.
Other than that, nothing much. It's typical Order Soul air game. You're air throwing and doing JP a lot.
Alright, that's cool. Alright, cool. That's good for me. You want to move on to Kai, or does anyone have any questions before I abandon Soul? Because I'm already moving on. Anyone else? Okay, cool. Fine by me. Blah, blah, blah. Going to Kai.
Okay.
What do you have for Kai?
This is one a lot of Kai players seem to disagree on. I think it's personally 5-5. Kai handily wins neutral, and he has one of the distinguishing characteristics of a bad matchup for Order Soul, which is he controls the air extremely well. He can kind of just play a keep away game and zone you out, use like stun rays, lightning sphere, 6p, 2h, and make your life miserable. It's not a fun matchup by any means, but I think it's even because when you get in, Kai doesn't have any answers. All of Kai's Abare is really slow, and unless he wants to spend meter on gambling with like RTL, he's really got no way to get you off of him outside of dead angle. You can punish almost every one of his gambles with Fafnir. If you block Greed Sever or Stun Dipper, you can Fafnir him. You can challenge 3H on IB with DP because your DP is so slow. Sometimes he just whiffs the next move through you and you hit him.
That's so good. So bad it's good.
Yeah, basically. You can also slash back the third hit of 3H, but that's universal.
That was really annoying to do, by the way.
To make the matchup 5-5, you have to be able to consistently slash back Stun Edge, I think. Because if you can't do that, then Kai gets a lot more grounded pressure against you, and you have a lot less meter to work with. But if you can slash back just normal Stun Edge all the time, then it's a lot easier to fight the matchup. The hardest version of the matchup is a Kai that just does nothing but jump back JH and tries to just get you to overcommit. And that's a really miserable match to fight, but even then you can play around. You can FD break to bait preemptive anti-airs because he can't wait to hit you. You can double jump to bait stuff that isn't named 2H. When he puts out stun rays, you can just charge at like half screen and slash back projectiles, or he has to come to you to stop it. You can gun blaze under charge stun edge on Oki, which is really funny because sometimes they don't remember and they get hit.
I suck. I can do it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, it's a okay matchup. I don't feel particularly horrible fighting it. Yeah. So if they like run in after that, they get hit. But yeah, probably 5-5. The other big thing, I forgot to mention it, is Kai's damage sucks if he's not hitting you with Lightning Sphere as a starter. So
Lightning Sphere is this move, right? Or not this one, but
236 214D.
236
236D 214D.
Oh.
So while
okay.
CSE is going to 214.
Ah.
Yeah, that one. Lightning Sphere is an amazing starter. It's like +3 or 7 or something. It's plus enough that you never challenge it. It anti-airs, it covers the space in front of him, it does his taxes. That and stun rays are the worst moves in the matchup to deal with, but in general, they cost meter. You can play around them.
It happens at that range you say you want to play at too, right? Which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a fun move. But like I said, if you're not getting hit by that, then his damage output just is not fun. He has a really hard time, and you can take the game off any random haymaker and just kill him.
Does his taxes. Yeah, it's basically a match. Like I can see HOS just like going, y'all, I can outpace you, right? And he has to
basically.
always deal because you can start charging, right? So like you can't even sit back and just do fireballs at you, right? You start charging, he's like, God damn it! Right? Yeah. Okay, I can see it.
You can make him come to you, sort of. He has a setup he can do with you do S stun edge, run in, and it forces Order Soul to either slash the stun edge and then play neutral, or like just immediately stop charging, because if you don't and you try to like charge burst, he gets a guaranteed punish. But in general, you have to play Kai's game, but then once you get in, the matchup's over. It's how it should be. Which, you know, there's a lot of Order Soul matchups. You're going to be hearing that a lot. But yeah, that's the Kai matchup.
Right. Okay, cool. That's how I imagine it would go.
Yeah.
I think everyone's always going to mention that Kai's damage is kind of a you know, that's what they're always like. All right.
Well, it's a big thing for Order Soul because a lot of matchups you just get outpaced in damage. So whenever there's a matchup where you're hitting you're hitting like around even numbers with the opponent, it's really nice. Like you don't get good damage unless you're level 2 in the corner, or you got a counter hit, or you hit someone raw with Fafnir, but that doesn't happen.
All right, cool. Yeah. I see it. I can believe it. Anything else you want to close out with?
Not particularly.
All right, else we're gonna move on to the best girl in the game. Where's she at? Da-na-na. Is Amelia? It's May, bro. May. You got this as.
Okay. So I think this is 5-5. So May is, in some respects, May is a lot better than Order Soul. Her buttons do mostly the same things, but at better ranges and for higher damage and into better combos. Her air game is incredibly oppressive, especially for a character with bad anti-airs.
Yeah.
The good news about the matchup, anyway, is Order Soul has a short jump, and you can air throw. If Mei does a lot of J2H or JH or JS, you can like super jump into it, IB air throw, IB double jump JH. You can DP JH and JS at certain ranges, which is a godsend.
Oh shit, I suck at this.
If
Right.
you block horizontal, if you block vertical dolphin, you get a Fafnir punish. If you IB horizontal dolphin, you get a Fafnir punish, but you have to IB for it. And
That's a
you have
pretty
that
big
meter
deal.
for Fafnir. Otherwise, you can't actually punish dolphin, which is really annoying. It's one of those matchups where it's very momentum based, I think. If you get the hit on Mei, you need to meteor her every single time so she can't run away. And you're just going to have to accept that a lot of situations where you reset, Mei just has the possibility to jump out and you can't really do much about it. So there's a case to be made for just not trying to rush the offense too hard and just playing mid-range or something. It kind of depends. On Mei's side, you get the hit on Order Soul. There's not too much to worry about, but she can sort of get outpaced, especially if she's not getting those big hits into like dolphin loops.
Darn.
Uh, the matchup really just comes down to the air game and how well the Order Soul can stop Mei from doing her jump buttons, and then how well he can punish her for trying to do dolphin shenanigans. And I'm all right at the first one, and I'm terrible at the second one,
Dolphin
which is why
shenanigans?
Kyle walks all over me.
Wait, this stuff? Like this stuff actually is a problem for you?
It's a huge problem. Stuff like S Dolphin with 2D, H Dolphin, S Dolphin.
That's
Like,
funny. I rarely do. I don't do
I
enough dolphins.
despise dolphin stuff because you need 25 meter to punish any dolphin, and if you don't, you can't punish them.
Yeah.
And then
Oh shit, he killed
the
you.
ways you stop dolphin are also really bad. Like to stop H dolphin, to stop like horizontal dolphin, you need to like JP or JS it, or you need to already have a hitbox there because none of your buttons stop it. It's really, really annoying. Like most characters, have a 6P that they can just counter hit Mei with. Order Soul 6P, one, isn't a real button, and two, even when you hit her,
This sucks. This is
you
actually
get
sad.
nothing. See?
I guess I wonder if you do like the universal answer. There you go. But it's not gonna be like you're not gonna be like ready to hit 5P for it, but
Yeah, well, the other thing is your 5P is barely disjointed, so it's really hard to not trade.
I mean, it's all I mean, I'm coming from May experience, right? The dolphins are going to come like at a timing where you're not always like looking for the dolphin, right? But I mean, the fact you can't answer dolphins is, or you can't really, you don't have a direct answer to dolphins kind of sucks unless you have meter, right?
Yeah.
But at that point, May might build enough momentum where like comeback is actually going to look pretty hard.
The other button that's a real pain in the matchup is 5H. 5H is such an amazing button for the range that Order Soul wants to play at because it just completely controls that space and it also anti-airs him. So
That's what, yeah,
if you like,
yeah, I'll try this
yeah,
out here. I'll jump
if
into
you like
this here.
JH into 5H, you're just dead on the screen sometimes.
I mean, it goes both ways, but there's timing involved, but the risk reward can go definitely between both characters right now. If we're just mashing one button, you try to do a jumping hard slash, it can go both ways very, very badly.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, I would,
So
sorry, I go for it.
that's why I think this matchup's 5-5 is just both characters have tools to make the other one miserable, and it's just really a matter of who gets what kind of hits. Like if Mei gets a juicy hit into Dolphin Loop, it's very hard for Order Soul to come back. Whereas like if Order Soul gets a Fafnir punish into a full combo, it can just flat out kill May.
Let's see what our resident May player has to say about this. Uka, would you have any thoughts you want to throw in here? I feel like I'm still learning this matchup personally on a personal level. That's why I would probably put it closer to even, if not right now, because I think I'm more comfortable with the matchup. On my personal, like I did it because like I was probably not too super familiar with it, but Soul is. Oh yeah, you could 6B your DP, by the way. Just don't do that ever.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I only really do it to shut down JS in the air, and sometimes JH with. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, no, I would never try to DP on the ground unless, like, I'm already seeing a 6H charge or something. And even then, I'm timing it.
Yeah.
Wake up DP. Wake up DP is a necessary evil, but in this matchup, it's just so easy to OS. You just do 2D, and it whiffs every time.
Yeah. That's like, well, yeah. It's like one of those things. Like, same thing with Kai, right? Kai, he's gonna have to do a DP. Like, he needs to know that you're gonna do it. But May's option for shutting down the DP is so severe that it's like, you probably know the Kai's like, I just got away with murder when they land it, and they go, damn it, I knew that was gonna happen when it doesn't make it by it too.
Yeah. The other big issue is just like, I think you get like H vertical dolphin punish for it, and then that's into what, full dolphin loop.
Oh, an H counter hit is you lose the game. That's all I gotta say. You lose the game. Like, she does whatever she wants to do.
The risk forward is just super fucked up.
Oh yeah, but it also applies to your FRCs too. Like if you don't FRC, if you do a DP and you charge and that hits a counter hit, that's just bad time. Yeah. It's counter on the way down, right? Yeah. I'll let Uku answer more thoughts on it than I will. Yeah, May has like 6 ones that can beat it. Oh, this is all things that can beat DP. Yeah.
I could see it being slightly May favor. I've talked about it with other Order Souls. The the general consensus I use for situations like this is when both sides complain about a matchup, it's generally even. So that's how I arrive at a lot of 5-5s, and this is one of those.
I guess one thing why I always typically never thought it was like in my favor was so your 2S is faster. It's faster. It's not as far as May's 5K, but at this range, May doesn't get the reward for her 5K is like non-existent too, right? It's the same for you, right? Yeah. Like if May just poking. Like, am I showing the screen?
You're showing the matchup chart.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what I'm doing. So basically, why I always thought this match was kind of tricky is that the risk reward at this range is probably in your favor, as far as I can tell. So May's 5K, it goes into. I mean, I can get a knockdown at certain ranges, right? For sure.
Yeah.
But 5K 2S, right? That's all I'm
at this range. At this range, you want to play in the air.
But the big thing too is that on counter hit, right? Like May is using her limbs, right? This is the big part. She's using her limbs to attack a person that's swinging a goddamn slab of steel. And this is where the problem happens. Like if you play some Street Fighter, right? You play some footsies for it. This could be a nightmare. Of course, this is a running game, so footsies are less of an issue. But the thing is that ultimately happens, in my opinion, which makes neutral really uncomfortable for me, is that I'm attacking into a guy that's swinging a sword. So if I do this, right? If I do 5K 5S, and let's try it out. I'll just dash up to it. Hold on. Like if you start buffering with that, like it kind of wins, but okay, maybe it wins sometimes. Yeah, like that could happen, right? But I mean that's a bad example because I did it like point blank, right? But at poke range, the 2S's can be a big problem for her to deal with.
Yeah,
but that's the only thing I could really think of. Outside of that, the matchup is probably even-ish. That's for me. I really like playing this matchup. Sorry, I just derailed your whole conversation, by the way.
It's fine.
I think it's slightly May favor, but that's just me. I think if Oscar get an Oki from his air combos, it would be even. Oh, that's true. You don't actually get true Oki from your combos unless you have charge. So right.
That is one of the big downsides of Order Soul is you never get knocked down unless you have level 2 or more.
Right. I actually see May just winning the damage race too, which is where like do like
Oh
raw
yeah,
numbers.
absolutely.
She'll just damage race you. She could probably just murder you for shenanigans. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Uku brought up a good point, right? So maybe yeah. Um, May sucks when somebody can't get strong Oki.
Well, like I was saying regarding the damage race, anyway, it's harder for May to get those big hits that lead to the big damage. I think on Order Soul than a
Oh yeah,
couple
yeah,
other characters.
yeah. I think you have some nice buttons to really make her not use those buttons that she wants to use all the time to get the big hits. That's from
Yeah.
my personal thoughts on it. Cool. Uku, do you have any thoughts, or Ali, do you have any more thoughts? I'm gonna call you Ali, by the way. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
I'm good on this matchup. We can
Okay,
move to the
cool.
next.
Well, okay, cool. Let's go on. Next one's gonna be Milia. Let's get over there to Milia.
Okay.
What do you think about it? What do you have for it first of all? Let's pull it up real quick.
I have it as 6-4 for Order Soul.
What? I'm curious. Tell me why. Look at this, six
So
four, huh?
every single Milia player says this is Milia's worst matchup.
What do they say about this
I,
particular?
I don't know if I agree with it,
Hmm.
but all of those Milia players are also much better players than I am, so I defer to them. I definitely see why it could be 6-4 because pound for pound, Order Soul's buttons just absolutely destroy Milia. Like
Yeah,
without
this right
pin,
here.
Milia has essentially no way to approach Order Soul. This is a weird matchup where you play kind of like a zoner, because Milia has a really hard time fighting into Order Soul,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of relies on either pin to lock you down into a mix-up,
Mm-hmm.
a knockdown, or you to do something stupid and run into a button like an anti-air or a disc. So the good sides for Milia, her 6P and her 5P can anti-air you very well. When she gets the knockdown, you can gamble, but not very well. She she doesn't win the damage race. She's about even if she's doing optimal combos. Otherwise, she's losing it. Um, she can low crush a lot of your good pokes with 6K, which is really weird and stupid, and I don't like it.
I'll try this.
That's really about it. It's a standard Milia matchup against a scary opponent, which is you just want to get the knockdown and then Oki them to death.
Yeah. I
Um,
think,
go ahead.
no, because I think what we brought up is like, it sounds like you have to play. You said you have to play kind of differently, right? You play like almost defensively, right?
Yes.
And when like attacking into Holy Order Soul actually sounds really hard for Milia. Like it sounds like it's not fun, right?
Yeah, that's
And,
essentially how it is. Like in neutral, you just destroy her if you're in the same range. So she plays a very evasive kind of style, trying to zip in and out of your ranges and bait you into doing something. And you have to play kind of the same way to her, because if you try to run Milia down, she's just going to run away, put out a hitbox, and
right.
trade
Okay.
into it and die.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the most success I have in this matchup against like Blitz and Kim Jong Phil and everyone is if Milia spends pin and you don't get knocked down, you either sit on the pin or scroll it off screen, and
Oh yeah.
suddenly she has no good ways to approach you.
I can see that being a very hard match for Milia once she has no pin against Holy Order
Yeah,
Soul. It sounds actually maddening. Like I don't know what you would do. Like
yeah,
his
it's
blinds are
really
terrifying.
hard. Really hard to play punches against him. He wins
Mhm.
the damage race. He The other big thing is like you can gamble on her Oki. You can gunblaze under her discs if you have level 2 or more and she has to check you to stop it. Um, you can Rising JP on her Bad Moon Enders that are too low to the air because they're not true meaties if she uses a disc. You can DP, and because it's so slow, sometimes you just go through things.
I'll try this. I want to believe this. Yeah, you sorry, go for it.
There's a lot of just weird things Order Soul can do in this matchup that give Milia a headache. but Milia can work around all of them. It's not a impossible matchup. It's just very much if you lose the pin, you have no way to approach, and
Right.
that is really hard for her. Kim will always talk about like just how messed up the footsies are. 2S basically destroys everything Milia does that isn't 6K.
Her
Shut
buns
up,
are
Mac.
not. They're not. They're like I say this about like a lot of characters are like this that are kind of like they specialize in like mix-ups. Typically, their buns aren't great. They just like they
Yeah.
just serve the function of like just like as like just filler basically. Yeah. 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 Those hitboxes are broken. So like, I'm pretty sure if I just do crouching slash with May all day, all of like Haas's buns are just could have just beat the crap out of this. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like this is not gonna Well, I mean.
The way she wins is basically you have to FD break against Order Soul, get him to whiff a button, and then punish him, or you need to convince him to jump in the air and then anti-air him. 2H and 6P are really, really good against Order Soul jumping. And conversely, as Order Soul, you want to bait those out with double jump. But it's a really rough matchup for Milia, especially because of the added threat of just like every single time you're fighting the matchup, you're one counter hit away from exploding.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that HOS will obliterate her on the impact, right?
If you get like counter hit Fafnir, that's 250, 260 damage. If you get counter hit Gunblaze, that's like 180 damage. That's
a lot of damage for her to
much
make up.
Threat in this matchup.
All right, cool.
I mean, if you're Blitz, you do Dust Loop combos on Milia that do like 150 damage to Order Soul, so it's about the same.
Trotting Milia. It's funny, mate. Cool. Yeah, I totally see that. I got the idea of that. I just the moment I realized like, wait, how does Milia hit HOS? I was like, oh, she don't she don't. not in like a she has to play it differently to make it work, right? That's the thing.
That's the big secret to the matchup is you just like you want to play more mid range and keep and like zoning against Milia and then rushing her down. A lot of people try to just rush Milia down and then they get double backdashed into like 2S 2D knockdown into set play, or like they do a ultra hard commit of like double jump to JH at full screen and they get 6P'd into knockdown, and then they come into the forum and it's like, how do I fight Milia? This character's impossible. It's like, well, you know.
Did you try not attacking her? Yeah. that's basically what it's going to come down to.
Try to get her to burn her movements before you do, because telling them you want to play zoning is not really helpful until a certain level of experience where you understand how to play zoning with a rushdown character. Because like if you're just IADing back and trying to get Milia to walk into your normals, it's never gonna
work. Right. It's a very experienced thing that you'll have to just like you said, it's something you have to learn, just fight for matchup experience.
That's something I'll touch on when we get to like Axel matchups and Faust matchups. I have a very specific piece of advice I give to players when they ask, because it's just way easier than trying to go into all the intricacies, and it normally fixes the problem they're having.
All right, cool. Press Alt F4.
Press Alt F4, yeah, exactly.
Press Alt F4 is the advice. Everybody hates Milia. Milia versus May is pretty fun. I'm sorry, she just explodes so easily. Anyways, I don't want to derail it. So I'm gonna go switch over to Eddie unless you have something else to say.
Nope, that's about it.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of curious how this one's gonna look. This sounds really interesting because
Eddie,
let me pull the charts here.
I have this as 4.5 Eddie favor.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to think for the longest time this matchup was 5-5. I don't think that anymore, mostly because I keep fighting Sunny and the matchup keeps feeling impossible.
All right, guys, wait, stop. We know what we're gonna do. You're gonna fight Sunny first to 5 or first to 10, and then whoever that final score, Sunny will have to readjust it accordingly.
10 matches, and then the score will look something like 2-8.
I'm kidding. All right, go spill your beans, and then we have Sunny here to chime in on too as well. So
I'll start with the good. I'll start with the matchup description, which is basically the way you win this matchup is you hit Eddie once, and then you never let him play again.
All right, that's it. Allow one. Moving on.
And that's your win condition, which means it's not a good matchup.
Yeah, I don't know what you do once this is out. Because you're gonna hit it, right? No matter what you do, you're gonna hit Mini Eddie once
Yeah,
you summons it.
so the shadow isn't even the worst part because Order Soul mobility is so good that you can like IAD away from the shadow. You can poke in between his strings into summoning it and counter hit the shadow and get rid of it. You can like dash in and 2P or 2S the shadow. Like when I fight Sunny now, I'm a lot better at just sniping the shadow in random places. The worst parts about this matchup are actually, hilariously enough, Eddie's shadowless normals. Eddie shadowless normals just dunk on Order Souls super hard. 2H, the shark hand,
Mm-hmm.
is low enough to the ground that it hits rocket and high
What?
enough that it will anti-air you at peak double jump height. So it's just this wall of hitbox that you can't really do anything about but sweep. 2S is more disjointed than your 2S, which means it's a better footsie button than anything you have. So yeah,
Oh,
see,
that's true. Yeah.
it's really fucked up. So trying to like actually run in on Shadowless Eddie is still a pain because he just out neutrals you. Which, you
That's
know,
so
say that
funny.
about any other matchup. 5P is a better 5P than yours. 6P is really good. 6H is 6H. It's not fantastic in this matchup, especially because you can just JP it. But as 2S and 2H are just the real killers in this matchup.
Mhm.
And then all of his air buttons also beat you.
Oh.
His JK in the air will beat essentially any button you press. You have to literally rising JK that. If you try to rising JP or air throw it, you just get hit.
Don't
His
trust that.
JH is also really good. His JP is very good. So
That's
yeah,
Good
so
job, Eddie. Good job, Eddie. I was like,
you can't play the air game, and you can't really play the ground game. So it's just this kind of you can't approach him kind of matchup. The good news is you can FD break all of this, and you can play the Machibo triangle against Eddie pretty well.
what is this
It's
Machibo
just
triangle?
Atewaza, Okewaza, Sashi something or other.
Basically just neutraling really hard.
It is running in and doing a poke, running in and doing a poke preemptively to hit your opponent running in, and running in and FD breaking to make an opponent pressing a button preemptively with.
And then yeah.
So you can play that kind of triangle with Eddie, where you like run in, dash break, and then he whiffs 2H and you're in. You can run in, jump, double jump, baiting 6P or something. You can run in, IAD back, bait 2H and Fafnir him, stuff like that. And then Eddie doesn't actually have defensive options, so you can. It's not impossible to quote unquote just never let him play. The real trouble with that is that anytime you ever end an air combo, if you didn't have charge, he gets to tech out into air buttons that you can't challenge. So you either get the air throw tech Oki or you just lose. It's yeah, it's not a fun matchup,
Yeah.
but it's not unwinnable or unplayable or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I actually in the Now King team tournament, I had to fight Team Eddie with Sunny and okay, and I lost to Sunny, but I found okay on open player lobby last night, and I beat him 3-0. So
That's funny.
there's definitely things you can do. On the bright side, there's a couple of unique things Order Soul can do to counterplay in this matchup. off a I-bead Mawaru, because you have a 3-frame normal, you don't have to jump. If you have godlike timing, you can just 5k in between the gap of Mawaru and hit the shadow and kill it.
I have to insult the first hit, right?
Yeah, you IB the first hit, and then you can 5k before the second hit and kill it. You have a 2-hit DP, so on wake up, you can hit Ed. If he's being stupid and okeying you with Eddie and he's in range, you hit Eddie and then you hit him, but he has to be already in a terrible position to do that. Gunblaze is pretty nice if you can actually guess the side, because I don't think Eddie can block in flight state. That might have changed.
Sunny, can you verify that?
Misremembering.
I think he still can, actually. Let's find out.
They need to bring back Eddie being full counter hit state in flight.
He was
That's
broken.
what they need.
Oh, that's right. That's he cannot block, yeah. He cannot block. I mean, I just did it right now.
Okay. Cool. Just making sure.
It's not counter hit state, though.
No, I wish. Once you get in on Eddie, he has a hard time getting you off. His dead angle's not great, but I mean, it's all right. Yeah, that's a good point. Eddie's not as happy in this game as he's been in previous versions. I wouldn't personally nerf Eddie. I just don't like this matchup. But like I said, it's only 4.5 for Order Soul. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a pain in the ass because Shadowless Eddie outpokes you.
Yeah, the big thing is it outranges you too, right? So this is a really, you have to use Far S, I think, at this range, right? That looks pretty uncomfortable.
Oh, Far S is a garbage normal.
Yeah, this looks very uncomfortable.
If you do Far S and pause it where it's like active, I can point out why it's so terrible.
Was I fine enough? I paused it right there.
Yeah, okay. So you see how his legs stretched out all the way?
Yeah.
That's a hurt box.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
You see how he has his sword all the way out there? That's also an extended hurt box for frames 1 through 8.
Oh, so you can just stuff this all the time.
It's like Kai, where you can just smack it constantly while it's coming out. Except he also just moves his foot all the way forward, so you can low profile under it and hit his foot anyway.
Make his drill plus on block. Damn, that'd be brutal. Yeah.
His drill's already plus on block. Drill is plus and plus R.
I think he might be talking about this one. Make this one plus. He got nerfed so much. I think Eddie's as fair as he'll ever get in this game, in my opinion. But
yeah, Eddie's a very fair version in this game. I actually really like Eddie how he is in this game.
Yeah.
I also really like that I can very easily tell when I'm fighting someone who's played like AC plus R Eddie versus a reload player coming out of retirement, because they will just always use Vice Shadow. Like, okay, when I fought him,
yeah,
I think I saw him use normal Shadow maybe 3 times the entire 3-game set, and every other time it was Vice Shadow. I'm just like, this is just a reload player.
Oh, that's true. That's easy as the other one, right? The old one, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it? Because I know this kind of.
No, that's about it.
I don't know if Sunny has anything else to chime in with. But I'll move on. If he does chime in, we'll just answer it in the next character one. Who's the next character, by the way? Who is it? I don't even know.
The next character is Pacho.
Potemkin! Ooh, a funny one. What do you have for Potemkin? While I get this ready.
5/5.
5/5, huh? I feel like he has a lot of those.
It says it is Pacho advantage. I don't agree with that. Wonder what Raekwon thinks.
You can ask him real quick. Hold on. I can ask him real quick while I figure this out.
We don't have another Pacho in here. But okay, Pacho. This is an inverse Order Soul matchup. Instead of you constantly trying to get in and then scoring a haymaker and winning, this is you are playing the flyweight in the matchup where you're just constantly annoying Potemkin and shifting ranges and making him commit to big options, and then you get hit once and die. So JP is a nightmare button for Potemkin. He has exactly 2 buttons that beat it, one of which is 2H. is I think 6P makes it whiff and sometimes counter hits it, but you can just JP FD block and you're fine. 2H is the only real reliable answer he has to JP, which makes it not very good. JP also completely shuts down Hammerfall, which you really, really need to do and impress upon the Potemkin, because if you don't shut down Hammerfall, the matchup's impossible.
Can you even stop it from mid range?
Hmm?
Can you stop it from 2S range? Like if it does Hammerfall?
Oh yeah, JP.
I mean, like if you're poking with like 2, do you even poke mid range?
Yeah. If you do anything other than JP, Hammerfall kills you.
Ooh.
You can't jump cancel anything in time. None of your things are 2 hits fast enough to beat it. Mike would constantly yell at me like, well, you can just cancel the Gunblaze. If you do that, you normally just eat shit because it hits you anyway. Sometimes what's really funny is you Gunblaze under and Potemkin gets hit by the Gunblaze, auto-corrects because of the armor and hits you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the basic idea of this matchup is you play in exactly 2 range. Well, you play in a bunch of ranges. There is the close range where you're spamming JP and rejumps at Potemkin and just annoying the crap out of him. And then you're just confirming to knockdown, doing a Gunblaze Oki. It doesn't even matter if it hits or not. You just really want to annoy Potemkin and get him to try to start committing to stuff. There is the mid range where Potemkin ground buttons are a threat, but you play at around tip 5H range, so he has to really commit if he wants to hit you. And you try to bait him into jumping at you, and then you 5H anti-air him for a counter hit and do 100 some odd damage. If Potemkin jumps in the air, Ordersoul has a bunch of very good options. You can sweep under all of his jumping normals, even JS.
Shut up. If this works, I'm gonna be so mad at you. I'm ready to say profanities at you. Here you go.
JS collision box will hit the ground before the JS hurt box will hit you while you're sweeping. You didn't even get it all the way.
I think it's really dumb as not timing. But they do it early usually, right? Like they do it pretty early usually. They don't jump in so deep, right?
I mean, even if they do the deep jump in, if you get the sweep timing right, it doesn't hit you. It's really, really funny.
Am I doing it too late or too?
You're doing it too late. Oh wow.
I mean,
okay.
they usually do it at head height though. Like they don't like that. That's like actually already too ballsy to do it like that deep, because then at that point you're not taking advantage of the active frames of it.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be like
not right. But you can sweep under all of his normals, not named JD. You can 5H counter hit all of his normals, not named 5D.
Wait, sorry. What button or what? Or no, for HOS.
JD.
HOS. This one?
No, Potemkin JD will. Oh, the one that you enter with 5H.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you said not JD.
Yeah. Like JH is a good one, or JS. They love to do JS super jump. Super jump is essentially death for Potemkin in this matchup. You have to 5H way early.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it just counter hit, charge cancel, double dust loop, easy money every time.
Here you go. Coming right up. Dust loop. Double. I dropped it.
You can Gunblaze under all of his normals if you call the side right. So Potemkin jumping at you in this matchup is essentially a death sentence. The only normal he can do to play around with is JD, which you can super jump, IB air throw, jump, IB air throw, jump, throw him on recovery, jump, IB land punish because he has 4 frames of recovery.
Oh, you have a 4 frame normal. You're blessed.
You have a 3 frame normal. You can 5k 1 frame before he recovers. And you'll land first every time.
Do you have to IB it, or it has to be IB, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe normal block. Who knows?
I mean, if you're jumping air blocking, it's gonna be a different story than like stand blocking.
Yeah. But basically, that's mid range, and then long range. You can just at really any point IAD backwards away from Potemkin a couple times and start charging,
Right.
and he has to slide head to stop you or approach. If he approaches, you get basically a guaranteed level. If he slide heads, you can on reaction charge burst and dodge it, although you lose a bit in frame advantage. To combat that, he can 6K fake out, and it's a complete guessing game because they're the exact same startup animation.
I put it in chat, by the way.
Oh, he thinks it's Order Soul Favor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I didn't ask him for details because he's playing, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
I wouldn't be surprised. So those are all the good sides Order Soul has in the matchup. He has a bunch of really fun ways to play it. He has a bunch of really good options.
He could definitely play
has-
around because like Potemkin's options is kind of funny to me. Yeah.
Potemkin has to really work in this matchup. The downside, of course, is you get touched once and you die. Potemkin, this is one of 3 characters Potemkin has the mid-screen Popbuster extension on.
Oh, God,
So if he PBs you, he can link. It's a 1-frame link to link Far S into a full combo, and that does an extra 60 or 80 damage on top of the Popbuster.
And Oki, right? Yeah.
Order Soul's fat hitbox, so he can just do really a lot of combos that he couldn't on other characters. Your DP sucks, so he barely has to OS it, or he barely has to bait it. Even if he gets hit, he doesn't care because he just gets to tech in the air above you. You have a really low jump, so Hammerfall will hit basically the top of your jump and even the top of your double jump sometimes. 6P will hit the top of your jump. Yeah, if you get knocked down by Potemkin, it's really, really miserable because you just don't have answers for a lot of stuff. The best options you have are like, if he goes for stupid jump ins, you just gun blaze and hope.
Right, but he's not gonna go for a jump. He's gonna do 6K or 5K.
Yeah, exactly. He'll just play the super simple game. But yeah, I think it's 5-5 because it's no worse than any of Potemkin's other not miserable matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And the damage differential is just completely absurd. Order Soul tickles Potemkin, and Potemkin just erases Order Soul the moment he gets a command grab.
That's where the variables come in for Potemkin.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a really fun matchup. I like the matchup a lot, actually.
That's cool. It sounded fun just from like I was like, oh wow, you have all these like counterplay, so it's kind of fun. It sounds pretty dynamic. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's about it.
All right, so your next character is
Chip.
Chipu. All right, it's
Chip is 5-5 for Order Soul, or 5.5 for Order Soul.
Oh, interesting.
So I actually just played a set against Joe Biden, and I stand by this. Order Soul brawls really, really well with Chip.
Yes.
Chip is made of paper and is always pressing buttons, and Order Soul loves to get counter hits, and when he gets a counter hit, he does good damage. So if you're fighting Chip, generally you don't care too much when you get hit. If you can get like any pressure, you're gonna get meter, and you're gonna get level 2. You're gonna hit him once and do like half his life. It is unfair how much damage you do to Chip. Yeah, like Mech says, Order Soul is very good in this matchup if you can do your combos, which I can't.
Oh, Fafnir sounds like it'd be a really big problem too. Aligari, I just realized. Damn. Okay.
Yes, Fafnir is very, very strong. The issue is that I forgot to mention it. Fafnir is low invuln.
Shut up! You're lying to me.
No, it's low. It's
I don't know if it'll be 2D. Let's see.
Almost low invuln. Oh, it'll be 2D easy.
I'm trying to.
It'll be 2D super clean.
I'm banning you from my channels. Stupid. That's pretty funny.
But the issue is Chip isn't really pressing low buttons in neutral. He's pressing like Far S and 6P and 5H. and crap like that.
This move is
So
ridiculous.
yeah, so you're not gonna really
It's
hit
like
him with
pressing
Vapio
6K.
too much. Chip will never press 6K. That move's atrocious.
It's probably going to be 4S or 2S.
Yeah.
If they're coming from accent core, to be 2S because this move was good in accent.
But anyway, ignoring Mech flaming me right now.
Oh, you want to put it on here? I'll put it on stream real quick. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, yeah. So what else? What else you got? What else do you have about
this matchup is really kind of just you brawl with Chip.
this?
You have the speed to sort of keep up with him, and like I mentioned, your buttons are pretty good against him. You have a way better damage differential than him. You have a low to the ground jump, so you can do wacky shenanigans like jump back FD with JK, like JKJS, and if he teleports behind you, you JK counter hit him, and if he doesn't, you just get an FD. Just jump back JKS.
Altogether?
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
So like you jump back FD, and if he teleported behind you, you would jump back JK and counter hit him. Yeah, it's annoying for Chip at the very least because he's always one hit away from dying, more so than in other matchups, and he can't really rely on just completely mauling the character because Orbital has a lot of answers to Chip Okazemi stuff. But I mean, he set plays you way better than you set play him, so he can always just steal the matchup out from under you with a single knockdown. But yeah, that's really about all I have to say regarding the Chip matchup. Advice for Order Soul players is 6H is a really good button on Chip, so watch out. And
this one?
no, Chip 6H.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Yeah, that is just a massive wall of red. And Chip Gamma Blade is +5 in this game, so
was it not +5 before? It used to be like more, right?
It's minus an Exerd.
Oh, okay, yeah. I came
So
from this game.
Come from Exerd to this, and they mash buttons after blocking Gamma Blade, and then they get counter hit and die.
This one is amazing in this game.
Yeah, that's about it for this matchup, really.
Yeah, I can definitely see HOS having the buttons actually just like chase Chip down though. So it's like,
yes.
So there's definitely some like dice rolling for Chip, but you can also press buttons against Holy Order Soul. So I can definitely see there's being some anxiety for the Chip player. Anything else you want to say? Anyone else have any insight? Gamma Blade strongest shit against Dizzy. This is a fast matchup analysis, Tofu Sauce. Alright, cool. Who's the next character then? We'll move on.
The next character is Faust.
Ooh, this one sounds weird.
Faust is not a good matchup. Faust is a 4/6 for Order Soul.
Okay. Tell me why.
So this matchup, this is the first time I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again for at least one other matchup. Faust matchup is essentially pick an approach and pray.
What?
Faust has tools to beat every single approach you have, and you don't really have the tools to play around those. So you can't really get decision paralysis in this matchup. There's a great quote from my good buddy who only plays garbage characters in fighting games, which is when all your tools are equally terrible, nothing matters, and you enter Zen, which is like when all you have are bad options, you just have to commit to things and do them because there's no good option. There's nothing on the table that's like I should do this over this. It's just this is what I have. So against Faust, there's no approach that can't get anti-aired. There's no approach that can't get hit on the ground. There's no approach that like is foolproof or has a better chance of getting in. Faust can cover everything, and he can cover it all well. So you kind of just pick an approach and pray.
Sorry, let me cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
So what buttons are actually really hard for HOS right now? Then what covers the approaches for
2K anti-airs you from every single normal in the air.
hmm,
6P trades at worst with a bunch of buttons. Sometimes JP beats it.
this sucks. I'm just trying it out.
2S anti-airs you super well. Crawl anti-airs you super well unless you play Space JH. On the ground, Far S just blows you up super badly.
Time sucks.
2K again is really hard to deal with. It's also +2 for some godforsaken reason. 2H is a god normal if you're on the ground. 5K is really good at anti-airing you.
Right.
So yeah, you kind of just pick. I'm gonna go on the ground or I'm gonna go in the air. And
All right, so I'm going on the ground. What do I do? What do I do? I'm going on the ground.
Dash in 2S and dash in 2H. Every other option is probably not going to work out.
Damn, you are going in on the YOLO. I just realized that you're going in on the.
You have to. There is like no good way to get in. I'd run up Fafnir against him. Not really. The kind of questions that, or the kind of buttons that Faust is pressing to stop you are like 5K will counter hit your Fafnir, 2K will counter hit your Fafnir, 5P will counter hit your Fafnir, Far S will counter hit your Fafnir, 2S will counter hit your Fafnir. Like the only thing you're gonna really get away with Fafniring through when he's trying to stop you approaching from a dash is like 2P, which you can just crush with 2S anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I would not Fafnir dash Fafnir against Faust. You can, however, if Faust likes to do 2S or 5H or 2D into item toss, then you can Fafnir him, and you will counter hit him sometimes.
I'll try to do this.
The issue is if he threw dumbbell or hammer, you get counter hit for hitting him, guaranteed every time. And if it's a hammer, you're close to stun. And if you were getting hit before, you are now stunned, and he gets a full combo. So, you know, you have counterplay. It's just sometimes random if the counterplay kills you or not. Anyway. So, Faust is a pick an approach and pray matchup. If you're wrong, you get comboed. It's a Faust combo. It's whatever. Sometimes they're really bad. Sometimes they're good. It's kind of random if you're going to die for it. If you hit him, the matchup gets a lot better. The moment you get a knockdown on Faust, the matchup is significantly more playable because Faust has no real way to stop you once you're in. All of his Abare buttons are pretty slow. He'll want to Abare with something like 5P or 2P, something like that. You can just stay on him and re-jump those, and that forces him to commit to more committal Abare options, like 2D or 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Once he starts pressing that, you can start counter hitting him. If he's just going to block it out, you can throw him. When he tries to do shenanigans on Wake Up, you can just OS them. Like 5D, you can beat in a whole bunch of different ways. If he tries to chop, you can 5H or just try to do a meaty safe jump JH. And if you tried to chop, you air throw it by accident. Whoops.
That's pretty funny. I'm gonna try that out.
You can IAD JP on his Wake Up, or like low air dash JP on his Wake Up, and he has to hold a tick throw mix up. There are a lot of good things you can do once you get in on Faust. The only real bad thing about being in on Faust is he can crawl under a lot of your stuff. and his dead angle is really, really good. But like, yeah, it's a 6-4 matchup because you're losing the majority of the game, and you only get 1 or 2 chances to really win. But you know, once you get in, perfectly winnable.
Okay, cool. I guess one other defensive option that you didn't, I don't know if you talked about it, it was Faust's 5D. Is this a new set at all for your character?
Yeah, you can 6K, I think, still hits it after the invuln. 5H, if you were OSing against a chop, I think still hits it.
What's the OS going to be?
You
Sorry,
can
I'll practice it real quick. We'll do a demonstration.
just 5H on wake up. And then if he chops, he gets counter hit. And if he 5Ds, I think it still hits him anyway.
Let's try this. I'm going to kind of YOLO this real quick.
You can just kind of mash, like,
oh, wow,
5K, and yeah. You can just kind of mash 5K and see that it whiffed through, and then just block. Like 5D will sometimes mess you up, but in general, it's not terrible.
Right. All right. Cool. Hola, Alex. Yeah, I was just trying. I mean, I don't know the timings, right? So I'm like kind of just like rough. Like this looks about right. And then
yeah. But yeah, that's definitely Faust favored, just because
I don't know how you get in
he keeps you out so well, and the majority of the matchup you're just losing.
Can you go for a full screen charge and just pray to God, or what?
You can. So at full screen, like literal actual full screen, Faust cannot hit you.
Right.
The moment he gets 9/10 screen, Scalpel becomes a huge threat.
Scalpel?
And you half circle forward K.
That's always way to get it wrong. Yeah, that move.
And technically, you can charge burst it on reaction. It has never in my life worked out for me, but technically you can.
There we go.
And also, if you're full screen charging, Faust just gets to throw items. So.
Oh, that looks kind of cool. Yeah, he probably would threat take items rather than going for a scalpel pull, anyways. But
yeah.
Can you gunblaze?
You can gunblaze under it, and sometimes it hits them. It's a high risk option because
I don't know why you would do this, but here we go, guys.
If they did anything that wasn't scalpel, you probably get hit. So.
God damn it!
But yeah, it's a. Oh hey, wow.
There you go.
Nice gunblade.
You're not gonna be doing it. There's already timing involved on it, so I don't know about it.
Yeah.
You could probably even 6P it. I don't. You have upper body involved.
Oh no, you cannot 6P it.
You're lying. Everyone could do it. Everyone, I believe in you. I believe in you, HOS. I believe in you. Come on, HOS.
I keep telling you, Order Soul doesn't have a 6P.
Alright, well,
full screen it doesn't.
Oh man, this thing sucks. What does it do? What does this move do?
It used to give you a combo. It used to give you wall bounce in AC, and then they nerfed it. Like, it used to still not be an anti-air, but have at least some weird niche use. Now it just doesn't do anything.
It's still plus, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The only things I've ever found a use for 6P is it will clash some DPs on Wake Up that you can't clash otherwise.
Huh.
And people get really confused when they block it because it has a projectile's hit stun or block stun because it's coded as a projectile. So sometimes I'll just okie people with it and then run up and keep pressuring because they just get really confused because it has such short block stun. But other than that, there is literally no use for 6P.
Yeah, okay, I was wondering.
Also, that dagger is so short you can't get a combo off it.
I proved you wrong. See, I'm actually 6P or 5P. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Alright. Anything? I mean, yeah, this match looks pretty rough, dude. The poke sounds. I honestly, it does look like you have to YOLO. You go in. You have to just throw out something in there. But pray. Okay, cool. Who is next? We'll move on to the next one if you're down.
Next up is Bacon.
Bacon,
First of the top 3.
Ooh.
you have a good matchup, or you have a even matchup against Bacon. I have a friend who shall remain nameless who swears up and down this is a 6-4 matchup for Order Soul.
Okay.
He's completely wrong because he just doesn't do good Bacon combos.
Oh, that's a big part of her, I would say. Alright, here we go.
Yeah. So the good news is Order Soul doesn't really care about any counter that isn't Baku. You can 2K and 2D low profile under Sakura with your
How the
normal
hell am I gonna
chains.
demonstrate this?
So set Order Soul recording to do 2P, 2K, 2S, 2D as a
Okay,
block
I gotta
string.
switch it around though. I gotta do bacon first and Haas do it. Okay, hold on. So it has to be backwards, I think.
You could just set a button for record player, but um, if
Okay.
you try to guard counter that string
Or
as
sorry, what was the
Bacon,
string? Sorry, I'll do it one more time real quick.
2PKSD, all crouching.
2PKSD.
Yeah.
Okay. That right?
If Bacon tries to guard counter that, she will just blow up and die most of the time.
Why isn't that one?
It's like 214S or something.
Oh, for Sakura.
Sakura.
Oh, that's what we got. Sakura, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting everything, yeah.
So you can just kind of mash this, and most Bikons will mindlessly kill themselves. All of these are either jump cancelable or reasonably safe that you don't care about the flip over counter. You don't care about Murakami or Samurai Shuffle. You can Fafnir or 2D Terminator run, so you can just blow that up and get a free counter hit. You're really fast and you have a really small jump, so throws are a constant threat for Baiken because she has to be very careful, and she's normally buffering a guard cancel anyway, so you just run up and throw her.
Yeah.
Low life means that you can actually blow her up if they make the wrong decision. The downsides of the matchup, and why I think it's 5-5, is one, Baku just literally murders you.
Murders everyone.
Even if they don't know the big combos, if they go into Curse and they do the D Curse or the Heavy Slash Curse, they take away your DP or your ability to charge cancel and your ability to jump, which makes you not a real character. Yeah, that happens.
I actually gasped at that. I was like, damn, that sucks.
She has, I think, low invul on her slide for no reason. Baku is the force break counter. Tatami mat is a huge pain in the ass in this matchup. It covers
right?
every single space you want to be in. And if you get hit in the air, it's a full combo. If she's doing IAD back to Tommy, you just don't have real approach options. You just kind of have to wait for her to get bored or start hitting negative penalties. JH Umaibo, Japanese nickname for the move. No, sorry, JS then.
Oh, the dumb move that everyone brings up. Everyone brings this move up.
Yeah, the Umaibo. Umaibo is really fucked up. It's really hard for Order Soul to deal with. You can DP it, and that's about it. Maybe you can jump and air throw it. I would never recommend 5K Gunblaze on anyone because that's a huge gap before active.
I like doing this for people that want to see how dumb this move is. They don't really fully grasp the nature of this move. I'll pull it up real quick.
JS is a huge pain. Biken's normals are all really, really good versus Order Soul. Like, her sweep controls all the space you want to be in and also anti-airs you. It's basically very rough until you get pressure going, at which point it's really okay. Spending meter for ACFRC in this matchup is almost completely worthless because all it does is give you plus frames that Biken ignores. So, again, if you want to bait Biken guard cancel, just save 2K and 2D for block strings. Like, the way you play against guard cancel isn't by making high risk commitments. It's by making low risk options and making her want to guard cancel. That's why I said that original chain will just murder a bunch of Bikins, because you're Bikin, you're buffering guard cancel, this dude's doing a 4-hit string on you. Are you not going to guard cancel by like the 3rd or 4th block? And then you die because all 4 hits bait guard cancel. You can also just not do strings and throw her off random buttons because you're plus as hell and they're trying to guard cancel constantly. Yeah, like I don't recommend doing Gunblaze in most situations. It's a very high commitment move. And especially in like random neutral situations, it's just not what you're looking for. But yeah, that's more or less Bikin is neutral sucks, and then once you start getting pressure, just crouching PKSD.
This one here.
Anything into 2D when you think the guard cancel's coming, or anything into 2K when you think the guard cancel's coming, or jump cancel if you think they're buffering. Like, there's so many things you can do. But yeah, the matchup is Bikin wins neutral pretty convincingly, and once you get pressure going, you kind of run all over her, but you have to be careful of Baku, because if she hits you with Baku, you blow up. But if you hit her with a good counter hit starter, she blows up. So, you know, pretty even. The one thing I don't like about this matchup is Bikin's Wake Up Super.
Really?
Which, yeah, so for some bizarre reason, where are you? Bikin. It is +1 after the flash. So if you were like running at her or you committed to anything, you got hit. If you're not standing still or already blocking, you get hit.
You said it was after flash? How fast is it? Sorry,
Yep. +1 after the flash.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's kind of silly.
It also does an absurd amount of damage. And it's not punishable unless you IB all 3 hits or slash back the 3rd hit. Well, for Order Soul anyway. You just want to slash back the 3rd hit and then Fafnir.
Alright, I'm gonna do this on stream real quick. Hold on, guys. Alright, next character!
Yeah, no problem.
No, I mean, you have any more else to say? Go for it.
No, that's about it. Bikin's perfectly even matchup. It's alright.
Alright.
Is your character so bad?
I mean, at least he has an honest, like, a solid way of dealing with guard counters, right? A lot of characters, like, some characters just don't have that option, right? It's just, like, literally, like, only in the same moment you press buttons on it, right?
This matchup is guard cancels are mostly a joke.
Alright, cool. Yeah, we can move on to the next character right down. Who is it?
Okay. Jam.
I am curious about this one. This sounds like a feisty
this is
one.
5-5.
It's 5-5, huh?
So this is a strange matchup where Order Soul is better early than Jam. Basically, gorilla match.
It sounds like it's gonna be like, oh!
Basically, you bully Jam before she gets cards. 2D just absolutely ruins her day. She can't puffball because 2D goes under it and counter hits her. She can't FB puffball because 2D low profiles all the active frames when you time it right. She can't dash at you and press buttons because 2D will just smack her for it anyway. 2S beats most all of her pokes in range and priority. Her air game sucks against you because you have JP. It's a really, really sad matchup for Jam until she gets a card. Once Jam gets a knockdown and cards, it's a really, really sad matchup for Order Soul because everything I just mentioned doesn't matter anymore because now she one-touch kills you.
The gorilla's out of the cage.
Yeah, basically.
I'll demonstrate real quick for everyone. So yeah.
6H low crushes, and if you try to sweep and she does 6H, you die horribly.
Sorry, one more time. What was it?
No problem. 6H, jam 6H.
Oh yeah, this move is terrifying.
Yeah, so jam 6H, low crushes, and outranges a bunch of your stuff. So if she's just pressing that in like neutral, normally there's no threat because it doesn't really lead anywhere. But once she gets cards, you just die if she hits you with it. There's 2D, which again normally doesn't lead to really anything, except now you get 2D'd into like Ryujin, and you're dead. Once she has actual cards, she can start doing like Gekarin mix-ups on you.
Which one's Gekarin, by the way?
The flame wheel kick.
This one? Oh, this one. Yeah, okay, there we go. Right.
She can start doing Gekarin stuff on you, like IAD Gekarin. She can do the flip cancels with her. I think it's 214p, and it's actually threatening because she has damage to back it up. But surprisingly enough, yeah, you kind of bully her once when she doesn't have cards. When she has cards, the matchup's really different, and you have to play a lot more careful. But when she doesn't have cards, you can just kind of do whatever you want, and there's very little consequence.
Right. That's pretty luxury. I like that. They do not have.
Yeah, they do not make something cool.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Teresa, I think Teresa thinks it's the same. At least when I talked to him at CEO Taku, he indicated that he felt that way. But then again, Teresa would also one-touch me into 70% combos, so
right,
you know,
that's how it is.
Kind of hard to fight that.
That's like the jam. Like I guess the win is just because my character does too much damage for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't know because she has to do 2S into the damn HOS sword. I'm like, oof, that looks pretty rough. Like in terms of just like, yeah. You beat the mid range for sure. I imagine, right? Yeah, it's just like when she's charged up, she's like her Aligari is like just kind of too bonkers for you, right? Yeah.
You beat the close range as well, which is really good.
Right.
The really scary thing about this matchup is Jam can OS parry a lot of your block strings.
Oh, right. We should bring that too.
If you do predictable stuff like blah 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 Fares, 2D Rocket, or Fares Bandit Revolver, she can just buffer parry and blow you up for it constantly. But you know, that's every other character in the game can just 6p you anyway, so it's not like it's any different.
I mean, because I don't know if Soul doesn't, or HOS doesn't typically start with a 2K, right? First pressure, does he?
Sometimes, yeah.
You can, right? But it's not typical.
You start with whatever you want, really. Soul doesn't have any like starters that are good or bad. Especially at level 1, 2K starter doesn't really mean anything. Because like the worst part about starting with 2K is you know 70% initial scaling. But at level 1, you're not doing damage on your combos anyway, so it just really doesn't matter.
Right.
So yeah, that's like 2K 2S 2D. That's the string I do all the time.
2S 2D, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, Order Soul doesn't care what he starts with. He just wants to get anything hit or block.
Let's see if I can record this parry real quick. Other than that, I'm gonna just try it.
Yeah, just.
I think like we could just talk about the parry at the very least, right?
So
yeah,
jam parry, for everyone that doesn't know, is effectively a third strike parry, motion wise, and it has no whiff animation, and if you get it, it's the same as slash backing, if I remember. So Jam can just block a block string, and when she thinks a special is coming, tap forward, do anything else, same as a third strike OS. And, you know, if she's right, you die. And if she's wrong, nothing happens. And the big thing is this negates a lot of Oki from Order Soul, because stuff like Gunblaze or 2H Oki, all of that gets OS parried by her on Wake Up. So you have to stick out a lot of lows to stop her from doing that. And your only good lows for getting anything off of it are 2D and Fafnir. So, womp womp.
Womp womp. Yeah.
But yeah, 5-5 matchup. You can stop Jam from getting cards, and you bully her, and then if you do that, you keep bullying her, and then she dies.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. Sorry, yeah. You can move on. Next character then, yeah?
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it's Johnny.
Johnny.
That I
Hey.
definitely did not prepare in advance. Oh!
Okay. Johnny is the worst matchup in the game for Order Soul.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
Very, very easily. Recently, there's been another matchup that I think might be even worse, and I'll get to that one when we get there. But to give you an idea of how bad the Johnny Order Soul matchup is, you remember how in AC Johnny was J tier?
Yeah, he was sad.
He had a 6-4 matchup against Order Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got buffed.
Oh, so it's that situation, right? Where he's just kind of like, okay. Well,
So every single poke Johnny has not only outpokes Order Soul on the ground with very little counterplay, it will also it'll also anti-air him. So if you press 5k
with a Hosser,
with Johnny,
this move is terror for everyone though. So hold on, my pad is not.
So Order Soul cannot jump over 5k. He can barely whiff punish 5k because the move he would use to whiff punish anything, 2S and 2D, go under the 5k hurt box.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot footsie 5k because the 5k is longer than any of his normals. And Johnny just recovers instantly, even if you bait it. So 5k is just not something you can fight in this matchup. 6p beats every single normal Order Soul has that isn't 2S or 2D in much the same way. 6p will just absolutely destroy you. Order Soul cannot crouch under Johnny FRS.
Oh, that sucks. That's already a bad sign. Hey. Oh my god, sucks. There's a range where it doesn't hit, but.
Oh, wait. Maybe if he's very.
If he's close enough, I think it'll whiff. Yeah. But he's gonna do it at that range where you want. Yeah.
5H also just destroys you. There's very little counterplay to 5H. All of Johnny's air normals, like JS, well, JH specifically, JH will beat all of your anti-airs. There's almost no point to trying to anti-air Johnny. Coin, as you might imagine, beats a crap ton of stuff. There's very little you can do about Coin. And then he outdamages you.
Hey, you ready for this? Look. Haha! I found your answer! I mean, I'm not sure about it.
Used for 6p.
Wait, okay.
But yeah, that's Johnny is essentially he outdamages you, he outneutrals you, he outfootsies you, he outpokes you. His pressure is slightly worse than yours, but it doesn't matter because you can't really do anything about it other than jump away or 2D 5H and 6H. You can't anti-air him. And then even when you get him on defense, he has That's My Name and 2H, which you still have to
You can 2D. Wait, oh wait, could you close hard slash
you
this
can
one?
Fafnir 2H.
Or I was looking at What's My Name.
Oh. I think you can low profile.
You can hard slash it if you want to be really boss about it.
You can 5H through it.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I play this matchup a whole lot with Quash. which is why I feel very, very confident in it, even though it's such an awful matchup. Oh yeah, also dust loops don't work on Johnny.
Oh,
Like,
good. Let me have an excuse.
Barely any of your combos work on Johnny. You need alternate or worse routes every single time.
Oh wow, it doesn't hit him at all. Even if you do like the lazy setups and stuff, doesn't even work.
Yeah. So Johnny is easily Order Soul's worst matchup. Although again, as I said, I think there's another matchup that's just as bad,
Oh
if
man, I
not
can't
worse.
wait.
But yeah, that's Johnny. Not a fun matchup. You have to guess DP and guess just a whole lot, and then the moment you knock him down, you can't ever let him play again.
Okay, cool. Sounds fine. I could see it being like that too. How it just that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. Next one. Who is it?
Axel.
Axel, huh? Where is he?
So this is the second matchup where I'm going to say pick an approach and pray. It's also 4-6 for Order Soul. Axel is very similar to Faust, except that instead of he covers everything without committing, and sometimes you get hit, and it's a question of sometimes the combo does damage, sometimes it doesn't. This is he covers everything, but he has to hard commit for it. And if you get hit, you are taking 40 or 50% of your life. Axel
Yeah.
does absurd damage.
All right, here we go. Pull it up.
So Axel can stop you in the air with 5p, 2s, 6k. He can 2k under half your jump normals. He can really just do whatever the fuck he feels like, and all of it will lead to big damage. And then on the ground, he can 2s, he can 3p, he can far s, he can 2d, he can 2p. He has a bunch of ways to stop you on the ground. It's typical Axel stuff.
Yeah.
The only real difference between a matchup Axel normally zones super well in and Order Soul is he also just gets to shut down Order Soul at close range. 5k counter pokes Order Soul really, really well. JS Order Soul can't actually do anything about because you have a garbage 6p. 3p, again, Order Soul can't really do much about. Far S shuts down all your options. 6H is an amazingly evil button. You can DP it, but good luck.
This over here, right?
Yeah, Far S is 6H is so fucked up. Order Soul almost never wants to Oki low, so Axel can just wake up Benten, and it will just often trade into a full combo.
Sorry, what's on Benton?
DPK? It's either DPK or DPP. Or DPS.
Which one? Because he has like 4 counters you can do on Wake Up Now. And I was like,
Yeah.
the bat, like the one where he swings, or the one where he.
The one where he doesn't do the follow up. The red flash. The red flash where he doesn't throw his chain.
Yeah, okay, that's
yeah. So that's Ben 10. That's invuln to highs and mids. And if it trades, which it does a lot, he gets a full combo without having to spend an FRC. And the combo hurts a lot. So there is a guaranteed setup Order Soul can do to Axel Oki, or to Oki Axel. You do 2k meaty for within the last 2 frames of 2k's active, and it will guaranteed make Axel block. He actually can't do wake up shenanigans around it, but you know, it's 2k. You're taking a 70% proration for anything you do. So yeah. Axel's not a fun matchup. The big saving grace in the Axel matchup that stops it from being even worse than it already is remember how I mentioned Fafnir is low invuln?
Yeah.
So anytime Axel is doing 2H, 3P, 2S, you can Fafnir and counter hit him.
Shut up.
So if he knocks you down and tries to do 3P Oki, you wake up Fafnir and it's a counter hit. He's trying to zone you with 2H, you Fafnir him, it's a counter hit. Fafnir is the saving grace of the matchup. It is impossible to overstate just how good it is in this matchup.
Damn.
And even then, it's still 4-6 because he just gets so much else.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really neat trick. Lots of Axels die trying to do it to me.
I guess I'll bring this up too. Do you get crazy combos on Axe? Because he has a pretty generous hitbox, I would say.
The hitbox actually fucks you up most of the time.
Oh, that sucks.
In air, it's kind of wonky, and off throw combos in the corner, it's really to just miss your JHJD and get owned for trying to combo him.
All right, cool. Also, hitbox after Johnny's throw, so. But this is HOS. I mean, I'm guessing it's the same stuff, right? It's standard Axel affair, right? But when he's like gets close enough, he said these blind. This blind seems like a problem for HOS actually. The Axel's 5K.
Yeah, it's the same reason where the hitbox just doesn't exist low, and the secret is like all of Order Soul's footsie's pokes are low buttons. So if you have something that crushes low pokes like 5K on May, it's just really hard for Order Soul to poke you.
Right. All right. Anything else you want to bring in here?
Nope.
Yeah, it just sounds like standard Axel stuff, so that's why I didn't want to really push it. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, who's the next character?
Anji. Hey, it's that matchup I didn't agree with.
Oh yeah, my friend already bounced, so I don't think he's here.
It's fine.
Let me change this over to Anji real quick.
Okay, I think Anji is one of Order Soul's best matchups.
Elaborate.
So, remember how I mentioned like 2S and 2D are Order Soul's really neutral heavy pokes?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I mean, you have to poke with 2D a lot in the matchup, and I think that's kind of bad. It's great for Order Soul. If they block 2D, you're +2 on charge cancel, and you got some meter. Like, Order Soul loves poking with 2D, and the fact that Anji just gets counter hit so much, and you get free 130, 140 damage conversions for it, it's such a nice matchup. This is also a matchup where Fafnir is super good. Fafnir covers so many of Anji's options because a lot of them he just wants to go low through. You can, like I mentioned, just frame kill Fujin every time. You don't have to worry about Fujin and block strings or Fujin on wake up. 2P, 2K, 2S will auto frame kill it every single time. What else? Gunblaze is a massive pain for Anji. You can Gunblaze under his butterfly on Ogi. You can Gunblaze after you block the butterfly when he goes in for pressure. You can Gunblaze after you block Fujin, and if he didn't do Auto Guard Rin follow-up, he dies. You can sweep after Fujin, and it beats the majority of his options. JP beats basically everything he does in the air. This matchup is just so completely miserable for Anji. I have no idea how they deal with it. To give an idea of how bad this matchup is, I like every time I fight Wukash Anji, I just kind of dunk on him.
There we go.
Wukash is a way better player than I am.
Yeah, the only jump I can think of that Anji has that's really good is jump slash, right?
Yeah.
And then House can just like stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Exactly.
You just shut it down, right?
It's just not fun for Anji.
Oh, man, it's actually
he's also very easy to combo in general. The bad side to this matchup, like most Order Soul matchups, is, you get out damaged. You lose the damage rates really badly. And sometimes, you just get knocked down and set played to death because your Order Soul and your defensive options all involve gambling. And I mean, he does have a low auto guard. He can call you out if you're being predictable, but really, it's just very hard for Anji to win this matchup, in my opinion. Like the neutral is stacked against him. His defense in this matchup is bad. His own Okizeme game in this matchup is bad.
Oh,
Like,
I don't know what's happening on this.
there's just so much wrong in this
Oh,
matchup.
I'll try this out with me.
Gunblaze under the butterfly.
Yeah, I'll try it out. But I don't know the timing of it, so it's like not, it's like super jank if I do it right. You know what I mean? So like I don't trust myself. So this is just a like quick idea. That's not gonna work. Alright, we'll try that out anyway.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, that's fine. I gotta do the 1 frame makeup timing in this game.
Yeah.
There you go.
Still don't get it consistently against CSE. Yep, there you go. So, like, you can see he can call it out, but if he runs up and tries to press a button, he dies for trying to Oki on his own Okizeme.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna do like a six. They're gonna go for like some kind of mix up typically from that situation too. So.
Yeah. Oh, also, stomps, which are normally semi-unpunishable, you can IB and throw him. You can jump IB and air throw him, or you can block. At least you can IB block at least one of them and just 5k him, and it doesn't matter.
I'm talking about this one here. The crazy. Yeah, okay.
You missed the Potemkin matchup, but I think it's 5-5. But I could also see it being Order Soul favor.
We can. Well, I mean, Raekwon, I have a job for you. Do I have to do another Potemkin? We still haven't talked to Potemkin players yet, so that's what I mean. If he wants to do it, Raekwon, if you're free. Have fun. There you go. Let me see if I can do this one. I've never punished this move in my life, by the way, without like doing some kind of gimmick to it.
Stomp. IB throw.
On the ground
every time. On the ground, in the air, doesn't matter. This move's so incredibly free for Order Soul. You can just, it's like plus if you block it, but if you IB it, it's minus, and you can just 5k him. Like, he literally cannot stop you.
This is actually where having a really small jump is really nice, right? Because like Mei, she's like already 10 feet in the air when she tries, so it usually just whiffs. Yeah,
that's really the big advantage for Order Soul on defense, is where you're getting this like jump IB low to the ground defense. But yeah, no, this matchup's completely miserable for Anji. It's probably Order Soul's best matchup.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna get ready for the next one. Anything else you want to say, or are we ready to move on to the Venom?
That's about it.
All right, it's Venom next. So let's go over there.
It's Diando's favorite matchup.
They put it as really bad. I already forgot. I was editing his video the other day too, like, and I might not have gotten a holy order yet. That video was the longest video of my life, by the way. I've been doing that forever.
Let me see. Anji, yeah, Venom. So he put this as 3-7 Order Soul favored.
I get to be really bad for Venom.
Diando came down to SoCal, and I asked him if he wanted to play, and he's like, "I'm not playing anything that isn't AC Venom." And then I said, "Okay, I'll play you in AC," and then he ducked me anyway. So, everyone loves to complain about how bad it is for Venom to stop Order Soul, but I have a set against Hirsch. You can watch Hirsch 6P me consistently, or jump back JP me consistently. Venom has reasonably good answers to Order Soul aggression.
This move seems so much worse than I remember it being.
Also, for the record, I have this matchup as a 5-5. Venom... Yeah, you can also air throw me. Venom doesn't really have that bad a time fighting Order Soul. He has the typical Venom thing where, you know, if he gets knocked down, he's in a really bad position. Because
he's one of the few characters that can actually stick anti-air hostage jumping age. Just time this really poorly. I'm just doing it poorly. I'm also not doing it like, this is not a great way of testing how good jumping hostage is. Yeah.
Venom. The real thing with this matchup is basically it's who knocks who down first. You're both low damage characters. You both need setup to actually get your damage.
Oh, that's true, huh?
You both need resources that you need space for, basically, or pressure for. If Order Soul knocks down Venom or gets pressure on Venom, Venom has to dead angle. There's almost no other way he gets out other than calling out a rejump. If Venom knocks down Order Soul, he can set play him to death, and Order Soul just has to guess right and then make a hard call on escaping. He has to guess if it's a Carcass Raid S or H reset, or he has to slash back Dubious Curve, or he has to DP something, or FD block out Mad Struggle, etc., etc. The neutral sucks. It kind of sucks for both characters. I think it sucks more for Order Soul because Far S and 2S and 2P and 5P just do such a good job at controlling everything, whereas Order Soul has to really get close. But like Diando likes to complain about, you have to be semi-preemptive to stop Order Soul from just jumping at you like a monkey as Venom. And if you're not ready to make those commitments, then it can be pretty hard to keep him out. Yeah, this matchup's basically 5-5. Whoever gets the knockdown first has a really big advantage, but other than that, the neutral is kind of whatever. It's just neutral consisting of Order Soul running at Venom and Venom shooting balls at Order Soul and then air dashing away.
All right. Are the balls really hard to deal with once they're like out, like the HOS? Because your jump is really limited, right? I guess you do have a really high super jump though, which is kind of cool. But
yeah, kind of. He can put balls. When Venom sets balls, it's just really annoying for Order Soul just because they restrict all of the space and you don't really have tools to get around them. If you're like Kesuke or something, you jump into them and slash back them, and it is way better than everything. But
right.
then it's better than anything involving blocking. But other than that, it's kind of just make do, dash break into them, run him down.
All right, cool. Yeah. I'm not sure what Venom's gonna do once Hostile gets in, right? He's like, he's like, right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna maybe match 2D, maybe I don't know, but
yeah, you press 2S, you press
right.
dead angle, you jump away.
Just pray to God. Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of. Same thing for Order Soul when he gets knocked down. It's like, oh boy, 2-ball Venom setup.
We.
High low, yeah, guess high low. Oh, I guessed wrong. Into another setup. But like I said, both characters do very low damage or relatively low damage unless they get a starter with resources. So it doesn't particularly matter if you get hit a couple times until big boy damage starts happening.
Right. Okay. I got you. I see that. Anything
So
else?
yeah,
Or is it-
high five.
okay.
No,
Okay, cool.
that's about it.
Let's go to Testament. Dun, dun, dun. I was ready for this.
Okay, second of the big three. Testament. This matchup, this is an even matchup, except the risk reward is incredibly fucked up, which puts it at 4.5 for Order
Right,
Soul.
there it is. Yeah.
As I put it a lot of times, you can totally play footsies with Testament and play neutral. It just really sucks to do it. He outpokes you really. He kind of outpokes you really hard. He has the thing where he has to choose if he wants to stop you in the air or on the ground because he can't do both at the same time. He has things that force you to move so you can't charge at full screen, and he has options that kind of shut you down. His offense is really good. He has ways to mix you up from full screen. He can overhead low you constantly. He has really fucked up Gatling chains that just let him pressure you nonstop. You can't do anything about certain block strings, like stuff with 2H or 2D enders into Beast, because he's just too far away for you to get any kind of punish. Net is incredibly evil. The head height net will counter hit your Fafnir if you try to hit him. It will counter hit your Rocket if you Rocket at Testament and hit him. The recovery will just pop up into the net and get you hit. Or if you do level 2 Rocket, the second hit of Rocket will get hit by the net before it hits him. It's not fun. Like I said, you can play the matchup. The issue is just the risk reward. is nowhere near fair.
Right, yeah, he's always gonna be mixing you up.
Yeah.
I'm guessing once you're in, you win.
Uh,
And then I'm gonna just while I casually mash Testament's crouching
no,
slash.
not really. Yeah, crouch slash is really good. If he reads your rejump, he air throws you and then wins the game or wins the round off that because he just got EX Hitomi.
Oh, this is-
He can 6P and apparently it's really fucking good. Enough to hit Order Soul backwards.
I should clip that as a pretty good reference.
He can warrant and you can bait it, but then you're baiting warrant in your pressure, so good luck. Yeah, you definitely don't win once you definitely don't auto win once you're in. But this is also another matchup where the goal of the matchup is knock him down and then never let him play again.
Right, and just go hit
So
him hard.
Testament is very, very good at getting to play again.
All right, yeah. This is one of your 4/6s, right? If I recall correctly. Sorry, I already forgot. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I can see it.
It's not that bad. It's definitely playable. There are worse matchups that you could be playing than Testament. It's just it's really, really just the risk reward. If like there was if he didn't get combos into Mop or like he had slightly lower tension pulse so he couldn't TOD you or like he didn't get a doll off air throw, this matchup would be 5-5.
Oh, the trees happen a lot later now. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm guessing also Nightmare Circular is a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, NC.
Basically, it's all Testament things, right? Testament has a bunch of dumb tools that you're just like, ugh! Over, right? And then it didn't hit your burst.
Yeah.
True that, man. That's like the story of Testament life.
Testament's just fighting F Nero in Guilty Gear.
I'm curious. I'm like, from what you told me about the Melty Blows, it sounds pretty interesting to see F Nero now. I'm gonna check it out maybe at some point.
Projectiles
Oh
don't go
yeah,
away.
he's talked about Jump D just being a nightmare move for HOS.
Oh yeah. JD's.
All of Testament's buttons are actually like a class above everyone else's, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
In some way or another. Yeah. All right. Anything else we can really say about Testament?
No, that's about it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next dude. That was trailblazing right there. All right. Next one's
All
Dizzy.
right, Dizzy. This is a 4/6 Dizzy favor.
I wonder if it's like similar to Eddie, right?
Yeah, that's what I said about Eddie. 4/6s so far have been Faust, Johnny, Axel. Oh no, Eddie's 4.5. Faust, Johnny, Axel. That's it so far. Dizzy. So Dizzy. The matchup is don't get hit, Lamau. If Dizzy hits you, you're just kind of dead in the water. It's very hard for Order Soul to disrespect her Oki, and because your DP sucks, even if you do, she doesn't care. Dizzy is very, very strong against linear approaches, which is the only way Order Soul can approach. She has very good buttons against you, which is surprising because she normally doesn't have good buttons, but because of your short range and linear approach, she can just eat you alive with half of her normals. This matchup's really fucked up. 2S anti-airs you super well. It's an amazingly good normal. You can't jump out of low scythe, and you also can't run under it, and you also can't poke her for doing it. 2H also destroys you. Ice Spike FRC is plus on block, so she can just hit you from anywhere on the screen, and she doesn't care if you got hit or not. You can't remember how I mentioned JP and Air Throw are your best anti-airs?
Oh.
J2S is unair throwable. So you can't beat it with JP, and you can't air throw it. So you just can't actually do anything against J2S. That's a real big problem in the matchup. Bubble,
awful.
yeah, Bubble is also really fucked up. Yeah, the way you win this matchup is you don't immediately rush her down if she can defend herself. You try to stay within like 2D spacing and just aggro at her from there. And then you kind of back in and out of it until she makes a commitment, either to a summon or to a bubble or something, and then you call the option out and hit her into knockdown. If she summons, you get to Fafnir or 2D punish her for a counter hit.
Oh, that's really good actually, because Fafnir's low enough that you don't have to worry about the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she does bubble, you can air throw her, or you can JP her and then block. What else? Yeah, that's dumb, and I hate it. Quote unquote, you win when you hit Dizzy, but the reality of the situation is when you hit Dizzy, unless it's counter hit Fafnir, you don't have charge meter, so you don't get a knockdown from the hit, which means she just gets to tech away and make your life miserable again. So you really need like 2 or 3 successful rundowns on Dizzy to actually get anything, or you need to give up your Oki to get charged, so the next hit you can knock her down, and then the third hit you can kill her.
Right.
You cannot charge a neutral in this matchup. If you do that, you're asking to die.
I'm guessing she could just spike you, right? She's like, hey
yeah. You can Rocket level 2 is a really good normal in this matchup. But like everything, it can be counterplayed. What else? GP is reasonably good in this matchup, but good luck hitting her with it. Oh, her supers are also really, really fucked up.
What? In what way? Outside of Imperial Ray.
So Imperial Ray is you just have to hold that. You cannot really get any way to beat it, and it will just push you full stream. And then Necro Unleashed, she has invuln frames at the startup. So if she sees you jumping at you, she just Necro Unleashes and you land into it and die. If you commit to any button on the ground, you die. Necro Unleashed is just a super fucked up reversal move. I don't know why she has it. It's really bizarre why she has such a good move. But both her supers are just incredibly annoying. See?
I wonder if this is your F because of your soul. I mean, I actually be so I don't. I'll have to check. I'll test this later. But so like if you guys don't know, like a global thing that HOS, Kai, and Robokai have is that they always land crouching, and so because this will just catch you out of you're forced to crouch, so he can't. He has to hold it when he just jumps in on her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a thing that only affects them. I have to test it on other characters, so that's just something I'm gonna think about later, though. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really stupid matchup, and I really don't like it. And there's one Dizzy who insists it's Order Soul favored, and
okay, this looks pretty rough. Like if Eddie's already gonna give you a problem, like just for like, well, that was more so because his pokes are better than yours, right? Dizzy probably has just as, if not better pokes than Eddie. Yeah.
There is one very, very, very fun thing with the Dizzy Order Soul mix-up, or Dizzy Order Soul matchup, which I will link in chat.
Oh dear lord. Do I want to bring this on stream or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
it's hilarious. Hold on.
Yeah, take your time. Well, I pull it on? Why not? Oh, hopefully the audio's not crazy. This is one of your videos. Okay, cool. Let me put on there. Give me a second to switch it over to. I'm gonna do this real quick. Give me a second. Cause I don't actually have a scene that's actually just gonna show the whole thing. So, oh, here we go. So, too bad I'm in the video, but you have to live with this. Alright, here we go.
The recording's fucked up because this was before GGPO, and I didn't know how to record this properly. But it's intentional. So Gunblaze doesn't displace you until the very end of the move. So if you start Gunblaze and then she Necro unleashes you, the coffin just falls where you're displaced, but you still get hit and you still take all the damage, and it's still super fucked up.
That's funny. That sucks, bro. I'm sorry, man.
It's just a funny bug.
So this is an uncharacterized.
As Leon shows up his voice in there randomly. Alright, cool. Alright.
Anyway, yeah, that's the matchup. It's
Yeah,
not
anything
fun.
else? I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be rough. Like,
You stay in 2D range, you sweep her and Fafnir her when she summons, you try your best to rush her down, and you die when you get hit. That's the matchup. You get out damaged, you get out neutraled, you can't escape Hiroki, you can't knock her down because you don't have charge. Rough matchup.
I 100% believe it. Okay, yeah, move on to the next dude. Who is the next one, actually?
Okay. Next matchup's also 4-6. It's Slayer.
Oh, really? Okay, tell me about this one. This sounds super interesting to me.
Slayer,
This is actually a harder matchup for me, too, so I wonder if it's, like, similar.
Slayer is a better Order Soul. Everything Order Soul wants to do, plus frames, resets, mix-ups, into counter hit into big damage. Slayer just gets to do all of it easier, with better buttons, and for less work. Order Soul has to go through the whole shindig of converting meter to charge, and then when he hits you, he finally gets damage, but only if it's in counter hit or in the corner. Slayer just hits you and presses BBU. He presses BBU and he gets 100 plus damage combos every single time. Fucking every single option you do is unsafe against Slayer. He can backdash Dandy, almost all of your approaches. You have to specifically call it out with stuff like dash in, 2S whiff 6H, or dash in, rocket. If you do that, he can just Mappa you, and Mappa beats every other set of approaches, and you have to call it out with dash in 2D, which loses to the backdash Dandy stuff. 2H beats every single poke you have. If you're on the ground and he presses 2H, you lose.
Alright, I know what's gonna happen when I do this. Alright, here we go.
If you try to Fafnir it, he can just randomly low crush Fafnir.
What?
Yeah, because he's low in.
There it is, I just did it.
Yeah. So that's a really sad time. 2S completely shuts down your air game. 2S and 6P. 6P also shuts down the majority of your ground game. You can only 2S and 2D it. So the entire game devolves into a triangle of RPS where Slayer presses 2S, 6P, and 2H, and he crushes your high ground options, he crushes your low ground options, and he crushes your jumps. And he gets better reward from all three of them than you will get for anything you do to him. And he has better mix-up off the Okizemi. He gets guaranteed knockdown every time you hit him, or every time he hits you. You have no ways to bullshit out of his Oki. He can cover everything. It is a miserable matchup.
I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Just,
what, do you have anything going for you in this matchup? Like,
awful.
because you can't even charge, right? Because he can Mappa you, right? He can Mappa you, right? So like, you're just like, what would I do here?
Yeah, you can dash away and charge sometimes if they don't instantly rush you down. 2D is an okay button. It counter hits Mappas. It counter hits 6P. You can Gunblaze on Oki, and sometimes it kills him because he does stupid things that aren't just me to you. you can if he does Danny Step, it's late to under pressure. You can block it's late and 5k in between the two.
First of all, I'm impressed you know all these move names. What the hell's Under Pressure? That's Undertow, right? Or no?
Under pressure is S follow up. It's late is H follow up.
Oh. There you go. Okay.
So you do S to H. You can block under pressure and then just 5k before before it's late. That's a free thing. That's okay in the matchup. You can Fafnir 2D, not on reaction, but on prediction, and it'll low invulnet and get a full counter hit.
You get a combo that, right, though? Or is he heavy enough that you don't do anything?
You get a full combo.
Oh,
Slayer is really easy to combo. That's nice, at least. M-Song, I have no idea if you can IB Mappa and that works. Every time I IB Mappa...
Oh, you have a 3-framer, right? So you should be able to actually theoretically punish it?
Dead.
If it's a 3-framer, you can punish it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see. I mean, most Slayers will do the Mappas in that range where you need to be close enough, but it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
There you
this
go.
matchup is...
Yeah. I don't think it's counting. I think it's just counting
really
on.
miserable. Oh, you can IAD JP at him, and it'll hit him, which is nice because he's tall enough. That's something good.
We're saying IED this one?
Yeah, IAD JP.
Oh, that's pretty... Wait, why is it crossed up? That's funny. But...
oh
yeah, he is tall Baybox, right? So you have that going for you. I mean, of course, if he doesn't, just BDC throw you.
Yeah, his 6H also hits your tip double jump, which is nice. Sometimes, he just presses 6H and it catches you at the top of your double jump, or it hits you backwards and you still take a full combo.
Oh, well, that's pretty brutal, dude. I'm sorry. But I mean, your blessing is also a curse, right? Like, that's what it basically comes down to at this matchup.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Slayer matchup is miserable. It is one of my least favorite matchups in the game. Tied with another matchup, but this is definitely a matchup where it feels like the opponent can just roll their face on their fight stick and win.
Right. Yeah, cool. You want to move on to
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
Next up is Hey, this is a fun one.
Is it really? Makes it fun.
Is 5.5 Order Soul Favor, mostly because your 5k exists and you can anti-air her.
Oh, right. Okay,
So, yeah, it hits around chest height, so if she tries to hover dash mix up you can 5k on reaction before she can do anything.
Where is she? I tried to find how they purchased. Oh, there she is. I found her.
Let's see. You can charge up while she throws notes at you, and it's relatively risk-free. So if they want to play a kind of lockdown game where they get a note before they try to hit you, it is a bad idea for her. Your DP is relatively good, and like most matchups, she has to be very careful of just getting hit into blowing up.
Oh, yeah.
You can also gunblaze all of her hover dash mix-ups that aren't empty lows, which is really funny sometimes.
It's like you can YOLO it if you really want to, right?
Yeah, you can make a bunch of gambles in this matchup, and for the most part, the reward on them is pretty good.
Especially if it does that meter, right? It's like super worth it, I would say.
Yeah.
Just why not?
The bad things about this matchup are neutral's actually pretty even, because while she has better buttons than you, they're all very specific buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's not calling out the right thing, you win. Her lockdown and mix-up are obviously miles better than yours, but that's just the nature of the matchup. Her combo damage is better than yours. It's honestly a pretty fun matchup. Rocket's very good in the matchup. 5k is very good in the matchup. 5h is a huge stop sign, because if she tries to press an air button into it, you just counter hit her for 200 damage. she has a bunch of trouble anti-airing you without like taking to the air herself. So you get to play an air game that's mostly in your favor. You can reaction Fafnir, stroke the big tree.
Reaction you say. Oh, it's low, right? That's funny.
Yeah, low invul. You can also reaction like 2K, empty 2K mix-ups, stuff like that. Yeah.
You know, 2H, that's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that's also low invul.
I mean, there's definitely more timing involved than doing the Fafnir,
Yeah.
but it's just funny. I was just curious whether it does work or not. But, okay.
But yeah, this matchup's reasonably fair either way. It's just you get a lot more return for your gambles than she does. And she has trouble, like, rushing you down.
Right, so let me put the part that I forgot to show on the stream real quick. So
sure,
it's just so I'll do inter dash, or I guess wait, hover dash slash. There you go. Then you just that you need to do on the first one, huh? Yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
A calculated risk.
Mm-hmm. In your favor, especially early on. So
yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to move on here? I mean, I'm
yes.
Zappa.
Next up is Zappa 5/5.
What is this voodoo magic?
Yeah, right. This matchup is
What did KB Nova put us at?
KB Nova say? He said 5.5. Yeah,
it's fair. It's like
I could see that. So Zappa is
blasphemy.
3 okay matchups and 1 horrendous one.
Okay.
Or 4 okay matchups. Naked, Ghost, Dog, and Rao. You're all reasonably good with. There's nothing that's super scary about them. The big advantage versus Dog that's different from every other character is you can IB 5k any single poke Dog does that isn't the 2D bite, and you'll counter hit the Dog every time. So he cannot afford to be careless with the Dog pressure against you. Ghosts are a pain in the ass. It's a zoning summon. You suck at fighting zoners, but I mean, ghosts are low damage, and if you respect the curse, it's really hard for him to get that random incidental damage. So it's not like it's terrible. He can lock you down and do 50-50s if he hits you, but what else is new? Naked Zappa is not really a character, quote unquote. He has good tools. His 6P bullies you because his 6P is really stupid. Your feed is stuck on this matchup screen again.
Oh, my bad. I was doing spit.
Oh yeah, Spit's really good. Spit's really, really, really good in this matchup. His DP is ridiculously good, but you can clash it with 2S and then counter hit him. Don't ask me why you can clash it with 2S. I have no idea.
I don't know how much. There's a timing to this, right? Or it's not like it's a spacing thing for sure.
Spacing. You have to be at the tip.
All right, yeah, I keep going. Like, I attempt this 8,000 times.
With 2S for no good reason. You can get a Fafnir punish if you block it. Let's see. His anti-air game sucks if he's not air throwing you, which is really good for Order Soul. The beating around the bush here, if he gets sword, it's really, really bad for you. You have the universal options against sword. You can IB flick and jump away. You can IB 5H or 6H and jump and Kudai Nige, getting hit by the sword flick to force an air tech. You can IB the sword and then dash forward because you have a really low dash. You can YOLO Gunblaze ACFRC from under the sword and try to force him to recall it. If you manage to get out from under the sword, it's a lot better because you have a very fast run and you can punish Sword Car follow-up extension with Fafnir on reaction, and
Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah.
it's still plus if you block Sword Car. But yeah, if he like knocks you down with sword and you're full screen eating sword mix-ups, it's just as miserable as every other character that doesn't have options, except you also have a low jump that gets tagged by random sword normals.
The Fafnir's at least is pretty cool. You gotta get like the super just guaranteed punish on it.
Yeah. Yeah, the sword matchup is just really, really completely miserable. But the fact that you have an even matchup against every other summon in the game, every other summon makes it reasonably fine.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, you get those games where he gets sword summoned 8 times in a row. And, I mean, game just didn't want you to win. But
Great.
other times you get the games where, like, he gets 6 summons and none of them are sword, and you're just walking all over him.
Just breezing on by.
Wake Up Dog is just as annoying for other characters, which is why I don't like large committal Oki on him. I'll just do like 2P 2K setting up tick throws, or 5K 5K, or safe jump JH into button. There is one very, very annoying thing he can do with Dog, which is kill Dog as a sacrifice to Dog, where he sees you jump and then presses Dog 2D. The dog eats your jump in normal, and then he counter hits you with 2H and kills you. That's not fun at all, but other than that, Dog actually really isn't that much of a problem summon for Order Soul, which is way better than most characters in the game.
I mean, that's cool.
But yeah, that's the Zappa matchup.
That's cool. It sounds nice to feel so confident.
It's 5-5. It's a hard 5-5, but it's 5-5.
Okay.
I still can't take games off KB Nova, but like, it's not like I'm constantly losing to random Zappas just because the matchup's unplayable or something.
Right. It's like not like Testament, I would say.
Yeah, well,
Testament has like less stage. Like...
neither as well, because no one's doing Kesuke combos. I would say the matchups that are like bad enough that you just lose to random people on the street are Johnny, Slayer, and another matchup that I'll say when we get there.
Okay, cool. Do you want to keep going then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Next one's gonna be
Bridget.
Hey.
Burry's 5-5 because both players swear that they win. Both character players swear they win this matchup.
Ha! All right, what's going on here?
The general gist of Buddy is you just absolutely destroy Buddy the moment you hit them, and you will almost always have charge because Booty can't rush you down effectively enough to actually stop you from just building charge at full screen.
Oh yeah, what should do first? Far SU, take that! Stop it!
Yeah, but on the inverse side, Booty players are like, okay, Order Soul will never touch you. If Booty wants to play the runaway game, okay, so full disclosure, if people played this matchup like Rue plays this matchup,
oh yeah,
this would be like,
I have no idea.
Probably Bridget favor, easily.
Right.
But no one plays like that in North America, so
really
this
should.
Yeah, like there's basically nothing Order Soul can do there except charge up and then Gunblaze level 3 trying to catch a landing. But this matchup, yeah, you just charge level 3 while Burry's trying to do whatever, and if they rush you down, you don't have to chase them, and you get to slug it out with Burry, where damage law dictates that you're gonna win massively. And if they try to run away, you charge up and then just FD break them down. The annoying parts to this matchup are Starship is effectively un-OSable for you, and 2S, 6P, and some other button that I can't remember are very, very good against you. They cover a lot of angles you want to go to.
2S, 6P. What was the other one?
I can't remember.
Oh, 3P might be another one too, right? 3P and one of
yeah,
those
3P is really good. 3P is very, very good. So those are really the downsides to this matchup. And those are really the only advantages I can see to this matchup for Bridget, other than like the standard stuff he does, like me and my killing machine set play you to death. For Order Soul's advantage, like I said, you get to play this matchup at as much charge as the Bridget will let you get away with. You can punish 5S or any yo-yo set from any block string just by Fafniring. If you're just mashing Fafnir and you call the 5H throw right, you get a full counter hit.
do you know if it's any yo-yo set or is it only 5H set?
Almost certain it's any yo-yo set.
That's right. Okay, from 5. Yeah.
You have to block. Oh, okay. Maybe
I might be really slow. That's nothing too. Well, I'll keep worrying. Let me try that though.
Anyway, you can also punish recalls if the yo-yo isn't sandwiching you. You can. Yeah, there you go. Air throw is really good against Buri. You can gunblaze out of a lot of the set play setups, especially stuff like Roger Rush and me and my killing machine above you. It's sometimes a big risk, but whatever. Like I mentioned, damage differential is hilariously in your favor. You have the mobility that you almost never get pinned down by Jagged Roger Force Break. Let's see, what else? Yeah, it's like there's just so much Order Soul has going for him in this matchup. It's just the fact that you have to hit Bridget to do any of it, which can be really hard. But thankfully, everyone in America plays Bridget as a rushdown character, so I don't have to actually try very hard. Like Naj plays Bridget in a way that's really frustrating, and Jace will sometimes play Bridget in a way that's frustrating, but I can just kind of wait them out and they'll eventually suicide into me, and it's great.
I feel like what I've noticed from like just like more Bridges lately, they've been playing a lot more floaty rather than more aggressive. That's what I've noticed so far. For like when I played Isaac the other day, I was like, well, he's definitely a lot.
Isaac was the first one that really showed me how fucked up this matchup could be. But then I played him again recently and I smoked him, so I don't know.
I'm just saying they're playing more floaty now. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Want to move on or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Here's Amazon. Here you go. Here's your Robo.
Oh, right. Order Soul can punish Bridget, Kickstart My Heart, any ender with Fafnir at the best and 2S at the worst.
This one. Kickstart My Heart.
So either Flying Ender is Fafnir, Sparks Break Ender is also Fafnir, if I remember right, and Just Let It Go is 2S.
It's just one of them. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not playing Bridget. I got you.
There's a Sparks Break Ender.
Yeah, it's P. Yeah,
that one. Yeah, you can just Fafnir that.
What, really?
If memory serves, anyway.
I'll try another quick one.
You might have to low invuln through the sparks to do it. I forget. Bridget, Kickstart My Heart, break.
She wasn't blocking.
Stop. Yeah, -10. You punish it.
Okay, I'm gonna believe you. Then we'll go by the numbers.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that's Bridget matchup. 5-5. Both players think they win it.
Cool. Let's go on to the next dude.
Next up is Robokai, Samsung's favorite character. So M-Song will agree with me here. This matchup sucks for Robokai.
I imagine.
This might also, yeah.
Just like it was my-
M-Song was my mentor for this matchup, and every single time I send it to him, he just goes, "This matchup sucks for Robokai. Akito's just hard reading you." And then I finally beat Akito in tournament semi-regularly, and I play M-Song. I'm fighting him. I'm like, "M-Song, you're beating me, but I don't think it's because of the character. I think you're just better than me." It's like you finally reached the stage.
Alright, I'll support this Robokai.
Yeah. Robokai can't anti-air you without committing to a hard option. In terms of the resource game, you are almost always at advantage. His only way to get big damage is off like 3 or 4 3 or 4 starters, which are all incredibly hard to get. The other way he gets big damage is playing at an extremely high risk state with heat, because the moment he has high heat and starts having to block, he dies.
This combo sucks.
Fucking, you can run under level 3 missiles, which is hilarious because it just strips away his zoning capability.
Oh, he has that soul run.
Yeah, he has the very low run. Let's see. You have a 3-frame normal, so you can just poke most of his frame traps. You can Tyrant Rave on reaction through Bazooka Oki, and it's guaranteed every single time. You can force an RPS on his Oki between 5p and 5k by just gun blazing or DPing on Wake Up. And if he presses 5p and you gun blaze, you counter hit him. And if he presses 5k to stop the gun blaze and you DP, you hit him. He can't really jump in on you because you have Order Soul Jump and JP and Air Throw. Yeah, Fafnir low crushes 2k, which is like the most common movement option Robokai uses for micro positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, this matchup's just really, really miserable.
He has to go in at level 0 too, right? Like, you could charge. Yes, yeah.
You can put down the mat, but otherwise,
you're charging, right? Then you have more damage on that. So it's like,
yeah, exactly. Even if he charges, he gets like 3-4 blocks from a mat, where I get level 3, and it's like, nice trade, dude.
I'll record this. I'm gonna record Robokai putting down mats, trying to build meter, and then I'm gonna just have HOS just charge.
Yeah.
You can see how fast the difference is gonna be.
If Anji wasn't such a fucked up matchup, I would say Order Soul Robokai is Order Soul's best matchup. It might honestly even be better than Order Soul Anji. It's just, Robo is such a Punkotsu character.
He's cool.
Punkotsu Robo.
Alright, here we go. Ready? We're gonna do this.
So
alright, let's go.
I think that's
he built 2 blocks. 2 blocks. My time lost with level 3. So
this matchup sucks. Also, Robokai has to IB for all of his meter gain, which just makes him super free to getting tick thrown constantly.
Yeah.
And you can clash his level 3 DP with 2H on Oki. If you space 2H at the tip and he does level 3 DP, it just clashes.
You make me do this. I'll try this out real quick.
Yep. Really, really stupid, and I don't know why it happens, but...
is there a way to do Robokai's level? Oh, he just do full meter. That's all I have to do, right? Just full meter?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
fine. Yeah, this matchup sucks. There's... the redeeming qualities, I guess, are that Robo's... yeah, there you go.
There we go, yeah.
It's a 3-frame DP, so you're going to need to start the 2H before you hit playback. The redeeming qualities, I guess, if you want to call them that, are that Robokai melts you off, like, most hits, or a lot of common starters that you're going to hit Order Soul with, he can just melt you with. He has a fast dust, and I'm terrible at reacting to dust, but if he hits you, he just missile loops you and kills you. Steam is really good in this matchup because Order Soul has a hard time jumping over it. Fares is actually a really good footsies button against Order Soul, and Order Soul doesn't have any real answers to Horse, especially for level 2 and 3 Horse, other than FD jump. So
There it is.
those are the quote-unquote advantages Robo has. This matchup is...
Alright,
This
yeah,
matchup is
I have to know if I can 6p it with HOS. Nope, okay, good. I'm making sure. Alright.
This matchup is miserable. That's all I have to say.
I don't know if
this.
Storm is in the chat. I don't know if he'll say anything. He's probably busy. But
Stormlock, I think, also had this as 4-6 for Robo.
yeah, I mean, if he has to build
He
meter against a
is.
character that can just charge up to get his home court advantage, like it's like it's
Yeah, it's not a fun matchup at all. Every time I fight any Robo-Kai, when I win this matchup, the only one that I feel like it's deserved against is Akido, and that's just because he's played me so much, he knows what I already want to do. Every other time, it's just like, this matchup, I can play so stupid and get away with so much. I am just so much of a better character.
yeah. I'm on the fence saying that Robokai is probably one of the weakest characters in the game right now.
Oh,
So,
he's easily the worst character in the game. I don't even think there's a discussion about it.
Okay. I just haven't seen all the characters yet, so I'm still like, oh, okay. I'm leaning towards
Yeah.
Robokai at the moment. Yeah. All right. Anything else, M Song? You want to throw in there? Oh yeah, did you see what M Song was saying?
Yeah.
I did really.
Actually, do that.
It doesn't look too bad, but I don't know if Robokais will ever just do. I'm going in with Horsey.
Oh yeah, they will.
Oh, they will. They
They
really.
will absolutely do that. Pony is one of the best approach tools in this matchup for Robo-Kai.
Is level 3 plus
gives you
a
an
what?
idea, which gives you an idea of how bad the approach options are in this matchup.
Oh, okay. I just know if I saw free Horsey, I go, oh, I'm gonna kill you for that. With me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, next up, mirror match.
Do you want to talk about it, or you want to go? You want to do it?
Oh yeah, I just want to give a brief overview about this.
All right, cool for it.
The mirror match is 10-0 in favor of whoever plays worse. This
Okay.
mirror match is probably... Actually, no, I can't say it's my least favorite in the game. This mirror sucks. Order Soul has counters to everything Order Soul does, so the entire matchup comes down to gambling. And when you gamble wrong against Order Soul just gets resources, so he can force more gambles and gets more reward than you, and it's this downward spiral, and you never win. He can Gunblaze under your DP, and he can 2D under your DP, so you can't ever DP on Wake Up. You can't ever run up DP either, because he just Gunblazes and it kills you. Gunblaze goes under, like, the vast majority of your moves, so you can't ever carelessly press anything, or you eat a 160 damage combo. Order Soul has a miserable time punishing Order Soul's DP, so you can just DP for free, and...
Wait, really? Why? I'm curious.
Trying to stop it. Yeah, you have to 5H on reaction. Which, I mean, isn't terrible, but, like, any normal answer, like, close slash, no, doesn't work. You have to either do a jump and counter hit it, or air throw it. And it's just so fucking miserable, because air throw gets you fucking nothing, because you can't Oki yourself, because you... Order Soul can just gamble away all of Order Soul's Oki options. I hate this matchup. I hate this matchup so much.
It seems like this character has his own kit destroys himself, so it's like it feels awful. Okay, all right.
Not a fun matchup at all. That's really all I have to say about the Order Soul matchup. Is
you Gunblaze yourself to death.
Gunblaze is a stupid move that should have never been invented. Order Soul's DP sucks. And whoever knocks down whoever first wins the matchup, like 80% of the time.
Oh yes, yeah. I didn't even put the toss on thing because it was such an shell real quick. So I was just curious if you can Gunblaze 2S, and you totally can. That sounds like a damn. That sucks.
Yeah, so, it's not a fun matchup.
Well, I mean, it does. But there you go.
Okay, next up.
Is it Justice? It's one of those last two
Abba.
characters. Oh, it's Abba. Okay.
So, this is the other matchup that I've been alluding to the whole time. I put this down as 4.5 because Skeletal swears up and down this is a 5-5 matchup. It
You don't knock her
isn't.
down. I'm already like, you don't knock her down. Like, this is not in your favor.
Well,
Unless
even
your
if you
moves are
knock her
that
down,
gorilla.
even if you knocked her down, you don't have an IK.
Yeah, right? That's true.
You have to actually go through all of Abba's health, which is a miserable experience. But so this is, in my opinion, the worst matchup in the game, tied with Johnny, and is also, along with who did I say before? Dizzy? No, Slayer. Along with Slayer, my absolute worst. I hate this matchup so fucking much. So getting into it, normal mode Abba is a better character than Order Soul.
You're talking about this. Yeah, explain this one.
So normal mode Abba can turtle you the entire game, and there's very little you can do about it.
How do I beat this 5K from Abba?
Normal mode Abba's big disadvantages are she's slow, she has poor range, and she can't deal with people who anti-air her. So, she's slow, but Order Soul has no choice but to run into her because he doesn't have any range. 2, Order Soul has no good buttons at range, so he has to fight Abba, where normal mode Abba doesn't have to move and has good buttons for the range. And 3, Order Soul can't anti-air jack shit. So Abba just presses JS and JH, and you can't do anything about it. You can jump IB air throw when Abba has 80.8 something defense guts, or 0.8 something defense, so it doesn't do anything to her. Even if you knock her down, doesn't fucking matter. All of her pokes, she can anti-air you so well. Abba 5P is the best anti-air in the game, bar none, because it just doesn't have a hitbox on it anywhere above the hand. 2H fully anti-airs you. Jump back JS fully anti-airs you. All of these confirm into a key grab combo.
Oh my god.
5K trade combos to 2D OTG key grab because Order Soul's fat on the ground. She gets OTG key grab off basically any normal that she hits you with. So the first and foremost, you can't actually fight normal mode Abba. You have to pray that she takes risks. You can, like, if she's sitting back, you can charge to level 3. And then sure, the matchup is sort of in your favor. But all she needs to do is block a telegraphed overhead or get a trade combo. And then once she's in Maroha, she just completely outclasses you. All of her buttons beat yours. All of your buttons beat yours. She has plus frames for days that you can't do anything about. Donzai eats every single move you do, and you can't even punish it unless you IB it and then have meter to Fafnir.
Really?
You can't do that to Goku. Yeah, no, it's -9 or something, and none of your buttons reach. You have a short jump, so 5H just auto OS's if you try to jump her throw reset. Same with 6K. You can punish in between second and third hit Rekkas, but they can just Goku activate and kill you for it anyway. The risk reward, as you might expect, is just completely fucked up. You can't be point blank when you punish Abba out of Suka recovery because your Fafnir and your Gunblaze will both whiff through her.
Oh, I don't think you
You're stuck on matchup feed.
Oh no, I was doing cool things for you guys. Oh, so
just stay on the training mode. I'll just say which matchup we're on and what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, this matchup's miserable. The only good things you have going for you are your dead angle is 4 frames and is a guaranteed knockdown on counter hit. which is nice. But she can just bait it most all the time. You can Gunblaze on Wake Up underneath Blood Ball, which is okay.
What's Blood Ball? Oh, the Fireball?
Yeah, so if she does the like unblockable setup, you can Gunblaze it. But she can just not do the unblockable and kill you for it. Or if she tried to bait Dead Angle, she kills you for it. Oh yeah, that move, the kick slash thing, that low crushes you constantly and is hilariously good at just killing you. Because if that counter hits you, she gets a key grab. And as I mentioned, all of Ursul's best pokes are lows.
I'm about to experience this.
So that's just gonna low crush 2S every time.
It's full range turn.
Yeah, this
Right.
matchup this matchup's miserable. I hate it so much. The only way that I have found to win this matchup, so you would think, like everyone always says, oh, you know, you just hit Abba and never let her transform.
Mm-hmm.
You do no damage as Order Soul. You never have time to build resources because you're constantly okiing Abba. And then she either dead angles or gets a trade into Moroha. Or you have to hit her like 8 or 10 times because you can never IK her and you do piss poor damage. So just the potential for things to go wrong is always so high. And then the moment she gets Moroha, she's winning the matchup for the next 20, 30 seconds. So the only way I've ever found to consistently do well in this matchup is back away and run away, build charge, only go in when you have level 3, and force her to burn a blood pack to actually start the fight. Pray to God that they're an aggressive Abba and they'll do Goku activate, land a dead angle, and just run the hell away until they time out or have to blood pack back. And now they'll have 0 blood packs and be stuck in normal mode, at which point you go back to charging to level 3 every single chance you get and only engaging when you can gamble with level 3. Every other way of fighting this matchup, I think, is a losing battle. Your DP, oh yeah, that's right. Your DP fucking sucks. She can just 2D from full screen and beat your DP, and you have to call it out with Fafnir, except that Fafnir loses to literally every other option she has. She could also just meaty 2H and it'll beat your DP anyway.
Yeah.
You know, just... Your DP is so worthless in this matchup. It's hilarious. This matchup is god-awful. I don't know how anyone loses it. This matchup is so bad. I have multiple times considered just picking Justice solely for this matchup.
Pretty fun with Justice, not gonna lie, but I don't, dude.
This
I don't
matchup
know.
is unlosable with Justice. That is a straight up 8-2 matchup.
Right. I would say it's even having an even matchup, you should probably be able to IK her, and that's all I have to say. Like, you know, knock her down 3 times on IK her. The fact that you don't even have that option, like, sounds pretty.
I don't get knocked down on level 1. I can't IK her. Yeah. So,
I guess unless you're dizzy, but then you do big boy damage from all your mix-up anyway, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Dizzy doesn't care. Dizzy can actually kill her before she transforms.
Right.
So.
Let's see how many. Okay, how much damage was that? Not a lot. I mean, how many of those would I have to land to kill her?
Yeah. Even when you're not doing 2K routes like 5K, close S, 2S, 2D, it's still really bad damage.
You're gonna do a lot of those. She has plenty of time to turn it around on you, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, every single trade goes into key grab. Every single anti-air goes into key grab. Every single low crush goes into key grab. Every single jump in goes into key grab. She gets, close S?
Yeah.
That's like +0. She gets a strike throw mix up off close S. She gets another one off 5.
Wait, which one? Which mode?
Yeah, that's +0 on block.
Huh.
She just gets a free strike throw mix up if you ever block it. She gets it off a free jump in. And then Order Soul, depending on how you jump and when you jump, if you don't air FD, sometimes when they whiff the throw or they whiff the key grab, The chain will just hit you anyway in your legs, and you get grabbed.
Oh, I think so. So we're doing hold on. Yeah.
It is hilariously stupid how bad this matchup is.
Shit.
And that's my rant about ABBA. I really,
I mean,
really
I think you're allowed to rant just because you can't IK her. You can just literally say, "I don't have an IK, guys." Like that's all I'd be like. Oh, people start understanding almost immediately, right? Because that's majority of the counts be like, "Well, at least I can IK her." Like, I can't IK her. Yeah.
This matchup.
All right, yeah. Let's move on to the next character. I will
Okay.
not transition.
Yeah.
We'll just go from there. Who is
Okay,
it?
second to last matchup. Justice.
Hey, I play that character now.
So I think this matchup's in Order Soul's favor, and I'm like the only person in the world who thinks that, apparently. I don't know if Mech is still in the chat. If he is, I'm sure he'll flame me for my opinions. But
I'll show you basically why.
this matchup, I've explained my thoughts on the matchup in the video where Justice players were going over it, but to briefly summarize, every single nuke pattern Justice has, you have answers to. You play the entire matchup at level 3, so you outdamage Justice, which is hilarious. If Justice ever jumps in the matchup, you gunblaze and she can't do anything about it. Even if you don't, you can just DP her, and if she wants to air block, you can just super jump into air throw. Michael Sword is a pain in the ass, but you can block it and then level 2 rocket, and they have to play a guessing game with losing rewards. The moment you one hit det a nuke with RI level 3, they're in a horrible guessing game of, is he going to RI again, and am I going to get hit for pressing a nuke? Or is he not going to RI, and he's just going to get in for free? Tyrant Grave level 3 goes through nukes if they're trying to set up a pattern, and does a healthy 200 plus damage, if I remember right. Maybe it's like 180. You get really fucked up mix-ups against Justice because nice.
Oh, it is shocking. So,
You
yeah.
get really fucked up mix-ups against Justice because she's so tall. She has no good Abare options versus you. She has to constantly guess between like Valkyrie Arc and 2H, and you can just Fafnir any of them for free. Let's see. You can OS her backdash really easily, so she can't rely on that to escape. The matchup's basically over the moment you get a knockdown, and it's very easy for Order Soul to get a knockdown because he's playing the entire match at level 3. Yeah, this matchup is not fun for Justice. The big equalizer is, of course, Justice dunks on Order Soul in neutral most of the time, and if if Justice touches Order Soul and she knows her combos, you're in a lot of trouble because the first combo is going to drop you right next to you, and or drop you right next to her with the sword FRC, and then she's going to do a 4-way nukoki, and if you guess wrong, you're dead on the spot. So
sounds like privileged Justice things that
matchup.
You know, I thought it was pretty interesting. I think when I was playing you with my Justice, I think you were just putting at level 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very much learning Justice still, but I'm not sure I'm fully willing to say it's in HOS's favor. Just as from my experience, just because I think I have a lot to learn still. So that's my personal input on it just right now. So that's just my thoughts right now. So even it's still like just my overall thoughts as a player. I think level 3, while it's your damage is high, I still don't know if it's all there. I mean, this is pretty annoying, right? Bandit Revolver seems pretty strong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is all me just speculating, so I'm not going to say anything with hard. I've tried and true this, right? But it is going to hurt, for sure, right? It's going to hurt, for sure. That's just me interjecting.
Yeah, it's...
But yeah, for sure, you could run away at level 3, for sure. You're going to have level 3 the whole time.
Really, I just... Like Mech says, if there ever is a Justice that comes along that does Hoda combos and isn't a masher like Hoda, this matchup's probably going to be 5-5. But a Justice like that doesn't exist yet. So
I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Just hold on. Just wait.
Well, no, you're a May player, so I can just rely on you to mash.
I don't mash. I'm an honest player. Honest and
May
true.
player.
I'm an honest and true
What kind
player.
of slander is this?
I have a DP. It's fine. Anyway, yeah. Anything else you want to add to this? I think the big point is to say that you should be playing this match at level 3. Don't go in before level 3. It's not worth your time.
I have a whole write up on how to play this matchup. The just very basics of it is run away, get level 3, one hit det nukes with rocket. Look at the matchup chart for how to deal with the other nuke formations other than PKS, but PKS is almost always the one you'll be seeing most of the time. And then just force Justice into terrible RPS situations where she has losing reward constantly, and it's like, what are you gonna do?
There you go. Make the risk reward so in your favor that like it doesn't matter. I think what I'm seeing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, cool. Do you want to move on to the last one? It's the last one,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
Right,
This is the last one. It is Cliff, which
cool.
I believe is Cliff advantage by half a point. 4.5, 5.5 Cliff.
Okay, what's going on here?
So, the old man has the Slayer problem for Order Soul.
Oh no!
But
Is this movie gonna
worse
kill you?
for the old man because he has to gamble harder. So, 5P beats all of your grounded normals.
What? How
6P,
fast does this move? What? Holy Jesus! I've seen this for the first time. Yeah, that's fine.
5P is really good. 5P beats all of your grounded normals. 6P beats all of your jumps. And 2D beats all of your low approaches.
This move is ridiculous. This is the best.
He also has a secondary. He also has a secondary RPS triangle with Order Soul between 5P, 6P, and dodge, where if you try to run up and strike, he'll dodge and chop you. If you try to run up and throw the dodge, he'll strike you.
Yeah.
And if you try to jump to avoid both of them, he'll 6P you. So the defensive triangle is not really in Order Soul's favor, mostly because not only does Cliff win the interactions, but all of those hits convert into big damage, especially if the Cliff knows how to play and has resources. I lost my train of thought.
Losing damage. The pokes are in his favor, right? Basically, all the individual pokes
are in his favor. RPS triangle. Oh, right. Neutral's also in his favor because 5H is just a button you can't actually do anything about. 2H and 4S you can at least like jump and IAD over, but if you're not making hard movement callouts, they just also beat most, if not all, of your pokes. The big thing that is supposed to keep Cliff in check is that all of his buttons have extended hurt boxes that you can poke, except Order Soul's normals are also stubby. You just trade into all of them.
Damn, like, so that just as you said it, I did it. Like, yeah.
So that's the big issue with that part, at least. So Cliff wins neutral pretty handily, and he has a pretty good defensive advantage. But the reason this isn't Slayer levels of bad, despite being mostly the same thing, is how I mentioned Cliff has to gamble a lot harder than Slayer. If Slayer whiffs 2H, he doesn't really care. And even if I punished him for doing 2H, he has a lot of health. He has a lot of ways to get out of defensive Okuzemi situations. He has a bunch of tools to gamble with. Cliff has to hard commit to a lot of options, and then if he gets hit, it's really bad times for Cliff. The more Cliff gets hit, the fewer options he has, because dodge just stops being a thing he can do. Yep, there it is. And then because he's always constantly gambling, counter hit is a really big factor on him, and Order Soul does a pretty healthy amount of stun damage for a lot of his combos. And a lot of your punishes in this matchup will involve doing high stun routes, So it's not very good for Cliff if he's not picking the right options when he gambles. Like, the risk reward is in his favor, reasonably so, and the options are in his favor. But if he guesses wrong, it's bad times. The way this matchup generally works, as a high level overview, is if you can drag Cliff into the air, like get him to stop doing the ground triangle, you'll win the matchup because you can DP, you can JP. JP will actually stop the extended hurt boxes on Cliff buttons.
Oh,
That's
yeah, that's interesting.
good
That's
at level. So if you can get him to start trying to play in the air, you can just bully him for trying to jump at you and pin him down. If he plays on the ground and you can't get him to want to play in the air, you have to play a fucked up RPS triangle, and it's not fun, really, for either of you.
How do you find yourself getting him into the air to get him like? Because like if your buttons are all losing on the ground, like what?
You can Fafnir 2D. You can FD break a bunch of his normals. If he drills you, you can IB into 2S 6H guaranteed counter hit. If he's trying to like just poke you, you can just run up DP at him. And he has a hard time punishing your ACFRC. And if he tries to like poke at you while you're running up to him, he gets hit. You can JP at him a lot, and sometimes it'll work. Sometimes he'll 6P counter hit you and you die instantly. But in general, it's just a lot of finessing and doing dumb stuff like double neutral jump and just playing in the air. Because a lot of times, if people just see you jumping around, they're going to try to stop you. And the way Cliff does that is by jumping into the air to meet you.
Right.
So it's less forcing him into the air and more manipulating player psychology into, well, this dude's doing run-up DP. I don't want to take my gambles, so I'm just going to jump.
Right, and then you jump, you just drag him to the ground, you jump Peter, right? Just jump in there. Ah, yeah.
Basically, you just want to make Cliff uncomfortable. Cliff, for his part, like I mentioned, has to take a bunch of risks. It's just the fact that they generally work out better for him if he's right than it'll work out for you if you're right. And the fact that, like, his pokes just outclass you really hard.
We saw the jab just beat all your normals earlier.
Yeah, this matchup, it's fun. I can't say anything super bad or super good about it, other than I still think it's slight Cliff favor. Hono agrees with me, so.
Right. You can't even do a full charge, right? Because the stupid move will, like, even like, just run away
you cannot.
Because this move, right? And then
But you get a full punish if you IB. If you, I forget if it's just IB or even if you just normal block Nape Saddle.
Yeah, this is Nape Saddle. I'm impressed you know all the news. I'm gonna try this out.
I know
I IB'd it,
games in this game. Yeah,
I only know Venoms. I only know
Venom.
Venom.
It's -6, so you get a full punish.
Okay, well that's close slash punch roll too, then, right? Even.
Yes.
That's a pretty big deal. That's big boy damage right there. Screw you on your fast buttons. I want fast buttons with me. Maybe should have the 5-frame normal. What's a close slash like that? That'd be great.
Isn't your 5H like really fast?
13, bro.
Oh wow. Okay.
But it's also ginormous, so it's, you know, it also stuff slows. Well, I'll do Maze at some point eventually. We might do Robokai and me in the same week. That might be a fun one to do.
Just press 5P.
We'll talk about her jab some other.
On block. What the fuck,
dude? Her frames are awful. They're not. She works for her command grab. I can tell you that much. All right. Anyways, yeah. Okay, let's finish up with Cliff, and then you'll be done for the. You'll be free. You'll be free.
Yeah. That's more or less what I have to say about Cliff. Like, there's weird stuff you do in the matchup, like a lot of preemptive DP. Sometimes you gunblaze under his air normals. Sometimes you IB his 3-hit jump chain into 5k. But generally, it's playing a. If the Cliff is playing right, it's just playing a really fucked up neutral triangle. And if the Cliff is playing weirdly or wrong, it's just high stakes gambling.
High stakes gambling. I can see it. Yeah, watch what Tulsa play. He just walks you to the ground. He walks you to the corner just by walking forward, and you're like, this is dumb.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I mean, it's kind of how it goes with Cliff.
um, if you're done, do you feel satisfied with your clip explanation?
Yeah,
Cool.
basically.
Then we can do if there's any questions in chat, we'll do that, and then otherwise, I'm gonna say, hey, I think I'll do my closing thing to you, I guess. Anyone? Any questions? Any last questions? I'm gonna only do this for like 30 seconds. Also got all the good old man combos.
Yeah, he does.
Also, do you have a question for Aligari? Japanese, okay. Tabun, daijoubu. How to make Mei players mad with Holy Order Soul?
With
What do you
Order
think?
Soul,
I-
throw them constantly.
yeah, you gotta stop her from
Throw their
jumping.
jump normals. Air throw their jump normals. IBDP or IB Fafnir, their dolphins on block, and Meaty Rocket. If they're like spaced where they think they can like wake up wake up horizontal dolphin, just Meaty Rocket. Yeah, really, it's just IB air throw them constantly. May has a miserable time if you can consistently IB air throw her, and the way Order Soul's jump arc works, you're constantly underneath May. So
Yeah, it's actually kind of a nuisance. His blessing is, and it works well. Talk about how May is pregnant and
compliment song.
just before every match, just go in and just be like,
Yeah.
why is May pregnant? What happened to her? Did Johnny do something to her? And then that's how it all goes. Does she have a tummy? I haven't noticed that.
The jacket is horrible.
You guys see it's on sale right now you can buy it for $50 right now.
Yeah, you can.
I might have to get it for my friend. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna say thank you, Aligari, for coming out. Hope you enjoyed explaining every single character. That was 24 characters. Much appreciated.
Got through it in like 3 hours.
Dude, it takes longer than you would think, right? Like it's like I thought it would be done in 2, but it's like you have fun with it. You go into it. There's a lot of details that you can go into for each character, I think. So I really appreciate you giving me 3 hours of your time. I'll probably put like, I guess just for one more time, say where people can find you if they have any other questions, and then we'll.
Yeah, if anyone wants to talk to me or tell me how wrong I am about matchups, you can come yell at me in the Plus R Discord. My username is the same as my handle here. You can also find me on Steam, same username, same handle, everything. Yeah, I'm always available for questions. If you have questions about Order Soul or how to fight him or how to fight other characters with him or anything about the game, game knowledge is one of my only strong suits. So
you're a good player, Aligari. That's why I chose to get you. I was like, I'm gonna get you in here, man. I'm gonna get you in here. I believe in you. So congrats on, and yeah, really appreciate it. That was super cool. Yeah. You were super quick about it too, which made me really laugh. I was like, "How are you doing?" He's like, "Okay." Then you started filling it out. Yeah, thank you for doing that social experiment. I was just like, I'm gonna do this and see if people fill it out. And it kind of worked out.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, Ali, like you said, he's a mentor for the Holy Order Soul. Plus our Discord, so that's super cool. He's always trying to help out the community, and I really do appreciate you coming out. I am probably going to end it here. Okay. But I mean, by end it, I mean this is where I would cut the video for YouTube. So, yeah. But if you just want to chill for a little bit, I'm done. I have nothing else to say. So,
I think I'm probably gonna hop out and get ready to sleep or do something else.
All right, cool. Sounds good, man. All right, I'll catch you later, man. Thanks for coming by.
Later.
Peace. Cool. Yeah. That's the end of the Discord, guys. That's the end of the Holy Order Soul matchup. Start with Aligari. Yeah, I'll probably put this VOD up in the Twitch, and then I'll probably do some quick cuts because the beginning of the video is definitely us just playing against Keisuke for like an hour. Like who was it? Uku, me, and Aligari. We just tried to fight Keisuke. We got our one win, and then we abort mission, as we should. We just needed that one strike. All right, guys. I'm gonna catch you all later. All right. Everyone, good night. Oyasumi nasai. I will catch you tomorrow. Presumably tomorrow will be Cliff. I will message Hono right now to see. Thanks, man. Amazon, it's great seeing you here, man. All right, everyone. I'm trying to. I mean, Hono's schedule is pretty hard for me to track down sometimes, but presumably it should be Hono for Cliff. If not, it'd just be a normal day where we just grind some matches out. Just come by and hang out with me, yell at me, have fun, try to find a way to make a May player angry. It's very hard. I love life, so. All right, guys, for reals. That's a wrap. Where should I send you guys off to? Where do you guys want to go? Anyone that's streaming? That's a.
It's unfortunately not. It can't be one really.
Hold on, that's not where I wanted to go. Let's see where we can go to.
Yay! Someone said.
Alright, I'm gonna send you the same guy I always send you guys off to. I'm sending you off to True Tech. Alright, guys, for real, this is good night. I will leave you with Ryza's thighs. And I will ship you all off.